Hello again. I am Silverdeeds. You can find me on Twitch as AGDeeds. I'll be hosting this run of Chained Echoes, the any percent glitchless run. This will be a co-op with FerricFox and Moonblazewolf. Take it away, guys. Show us how it's done.
All right.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to our co-op run of Chained Echoes. Before we get started, gosh, huge shout out to the tech crew for all the stuff they've been dealing with this evening. Oh my gosh, I can't even imagine. Thank you so much for getting this run up and running. Please give them all the love in the chat right now. We're going to go pretty quick through introductions here. I'm FerricFox. This is my partner in crime, Moonblazewolf.
I'm here.
We're going to make this work. We kind of jumped into this. I'm a little shaky right now because of just the speed at which everything's moving, but hopefully we'll hit my groove here shortly. Long run, a little over 3 hours. We absolutely love this game. If you stayed up late to watch this with us, it's time to get cozy, get a blanket, get some cocoa, and get ready to have some fun. So we're going to count it down in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
All right. All right, so welcome to Chained Echoes, everybody. So first of all, just a little bit of housekeeping. Ferric is playing the first half of the run, then we're basically just going to hand off the controller for the second half. There's a lot of stuff at the very beginning of this run. It really moves at a very zippy pace, and we get a lot thrown at us pretty quickly. So what you need to know right now is we are controlling Glenn, and Glenn is in some sky armor. This is a game that came out in late 2022. I think most people probably got familiar with this game in the early part of 2023. But it is a retro-stylized game, so you can see a lot of the graphics are really kind of pulled directly out of like the SNES era. It just presents really, really well. And the beginning of this game, we are in the first of several prologue sequences. And we are storming a beach. We are part of a sky pirate crew, and this is Glenn with the red hair and Killian with the two-handed sword and the brown hair.
Because if you're going to be a pirate, why not just be a sky pirate, right?
It's true.
It's like +1.
Yeah, they have a really cool ship too. We're going to see it in a minute in the background. It's pretty wild, just the detail and kind of the scope of this game becomes very clear right away. And there's 2 modes of combat in this game. This is sort of the very traditional kind of like character party-based, turn-based combat. And then we also have sky armor combat. We got a little taste of that. There's the really cool ship, by the way. Look at that thing go.
It looks like it's on fire. That can't be a good thing.
No, generally you don't want to have your, that's probably a very expensive airship. And it's very
exactly.
on fire.
It's very on fire.
But yeah, so we are basically mercenaries in this scene. We are storming this castle. We will be back here later as well. And the reason we are here is there is a weapon called they believe it is called the Opus Stone. We're going to know it by another name later, but it is basically a really bad weapon and we want to secure it. So that's kind of the mission of Glenn and Killian here. And we got a couple very temporary members of our party here. This is our introduction to the overdrive meter, a very important mechanic in this game. So what you can see, it's in the top left corner. Basically what you need to know about the overdrive meter is we want to stay in the green. And the reason we want to stay in the green is we get more damage and our skills cost less. As we take actions, the meter will typically go from left to right. We want to avoid the red zone. So that is not going to be particularly hard to do except for some of the longer kind of boss fight battles later on in the run. And speaking of boss battles, Ferric kind of has the first tutorial boss here. This is YYN. It's pretty cool looking. We're pretty much just going to use our strongest attacks on him to bring him down as quickly as we can. Glenn also has an armor break ability that is very useful. One thing that will become a theme of this run as we get going is the buffs and debuffs in this game are extremely strong. Stuff like armor break is very useful for increasing the damage that your other party members are going to do. The game also has a very robust elemental debuff system that we will talk about a little bit later on. But for now, that is the first of a series of prologues here. We're kind of getting a brief introduction to a lot of the major players in the game. So that was Glenn and Killian, and now this is Len and Rob. They are in the city of Farnsport. A little bit of background on them. Len is the Princess of Tormund, which is another one of the kingdoms that we will go to later. And Rob is her kind of like bratty, stuck-up rich kid companion who is basically there just to kind of keep an eye on her and make sure that she doesn't get into too much unprincess-like trouble. What Ferric is doing here, so this game does have enemies typically that you will encounter are visible on the battlefield, so you can move around a lot of them. Over the course of the run, we are going to be doing the minimum number of combats that you really have to do to kind of get from point A to point B as quickly as possible. A lot of that is we are able to do because we know sort of what the aggro zones are for these fights, and Ferric knows how to kind of move to get around them. So, and he's actually coming up on one of the harder skips. So we'll see if this goes perfect. That looked very easy. That was actually pretty difficult. If you don't hug the corner of that rock there, you will get into that encounter. So nicely done. Right out early on in the run, that is one of the hardest little things that we have to do in this glitchless run. So
Small bonk on the rock.
Yep, you gotta just kind of hug that rock.
Exactly.
So you can kind of see here, our first two characters were swordsmen. Len uses a spear. She's also more of a magic attack user. Magic and physical attacks are pretty well delineated in this game. And then Rob is a archer or kind of ranger type using a bow. A little bit about Rob. Rob is going to eventually be one of our two strongest party members, but at the very beginning of the run, Rob is pretty weak. It takes a little while for Rob to get going. What you're seeing here is this game has kind of a limit break-like system called Ultra Moves. The Ultra Move bar is above the character's hit points and tactical points in the bottom right. It'll charge up as you go through combat, but one of the really important things about the Ultra Meter is at the beginning of every boss fight, you get a full Ultra Meter to start the fight. So one of the tactical things about figuring out how to optimize the combat in this run has been to sort of figure out how to optimally use that free Ultra Move that you get on every boss fight. And speaking of boss fights here, we've got the boss fight for the Len and Rob prologue. This is there he is. There's the sandworm. And we're going to be fighting that now. Is weak to water, so Len is going to be pretty strong against him. And then Rob is going to use a poison shot, and then his strongest physical attack after that, just to sort of maximize the damage that we can put on this guy.
So this run is turbo enabled. I can hold down the turbo button if I want to repeat actions or if I want to buzz through dialogue. So if you see me kind of reaching over with one hand, I have a kind of a notepad in front of me here, and then I'm just holding down the turbo button to complete the combat. Not really in any danger of dying here. We just want that to go as fast as possible.
Yeah, and this game does have a very, very, if you played it with a memory cursor before, has that as well. So the last action you took once you're into a combat will be the next action that you automatically select. So that's kind of nice.
So y'all wanted it. The incentive was out there. We're going to do it. It's called Turtle Races.
That's right. It is time for the turtle races here with Victor.
Who doesn't love some turtle races? Here we go. So this is Victor. Let's go talk to the turtles first. We got 4 turtles. Turtle, and turtle. So 4 total, chat. Throw your 1s, 2s, 3s, and 4s into the chat. I'm going to give you a countdown, and then we're going to race them. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And enjoy the music. Here we go. All right, turtle number 1. Anyone's in the chat. So very nice. So yeah, that's fun, and it's got some pretty killer music too. So all right, back to business, as they say.
Yeah, thank you for donating for that. We always love to show off the Rockin' Turtle races. So we're in Farnsport now, where Rob and Len just were, but we're at their kind of like annual fair that's going on. It maybe even be like a millennial fair, I don't know, but that was Victor who was doing the turtle races, and then he kind of got swindled here by our sort of thief ninja character, Sienna, who is just going to kind of run around and go steal some more stuff now because that's what Sienna does.
She's got the cool music too. I really like her music.
Yeah, she has a good
very
theme.
whimsical.
Yep. This third steal is going to be kind of an important item over the course of the run into the sort of game as a whole. Sienna is going to steal an item called a Sacred Water. Sacred Water is used in Chained Echoes to get class emblems from Leonar statues that are sort of scattered throughout the world. For every one Sacred Water you get, you can potentially get another emblem if you can defeat the fight. So that's one. So we have a Sacred Water that we can cash in here in a little bit for our first class emblem, and we got caught and thrown in the sewers. How bad is that? So
There's never sewers in RPGs, are there?
no. Well, that'll be a recurring theme of this run. Is you may have played an RPG before where you ended up in the sewers.
Exactly, or X, Y, or Z that we're talking about. This is a Sparkle Bat. Okay,
that's actually really good luck.
Interesting. Got our thin hides. So.
Yeah, so that was a little. So this game has pretty tight money routing and crafting item routing at the very beginning for the Glitchless run. This is something that Ferric and I have both worked really hard on. When you have a sparkle enemy, so Ferric just fought a sparkling bat, those will guarantee you item drops as well as additional SP. We don't need them per se. We know where to get all the items if we don't get the drops, but getting free drops really does help because it potentially cuts down on shops that we would have to do a little bit later. So that was nice to see. And this is another fight where we're kind of looking for another crafting item. We're going to see Killian's Ultra here. This is very good. It's a physical AoE attack.
Okay, did not get the tin ore.
Okay, so we'll have to buy that. We'll have to buy a tin ore. That one is a little bit harder to get unfortunately. But that's okay because we already got 2 thin hides, so we're already ahead. And then, the paths are kind of coming together here a little bit. We're starting to bring the cast of characters together. We have Sienna, Glenn, and Killian, and they are fighting the Kraken, except it's a Krat-chan, because she has pretty eyelashes, and she's batting her eyes for us.
Hopefully wide swing will get this. I don't think it's going to get the bottom one. Nope. So ideally you one cycle this, but again, no risk of really dying here. It's just how fast you can kind of finish it off. So that's that fight.
Yep.
Krat-chan, another big octopus-looking boss.
Yeah, some of the bosses in this run, they really do. The scale of the bosses is very cool, and they have really good sprite work, I would say. Some of my favorite boss sprites. So.
Off to the banquet.
Yeah, so now we have a banquet where we have to answer questions and talk to people. Again, maybe you have played an RPG before where you had to do this. I don't know.
Same answers every time, so if you memorize them, you're good to go.
Yep. All right, good. And we want to make sure Ferric gives the right answers here because we're going to get an accessory called the Life Thread if we do so. A Life Thread is going to give you plus 15% critical rate. And criticals are one of the things that really makes this run go from fast to very fast. If you can get a lucky critical on certain monsters and kind of cut out a whole cycle. So we're, at least for the first part of the run, going to be throwing that Life Thread on the character who we think has the best chance to crit and deal tons of damage. So, oh, you get your iron ores. There you go. Sneaking around. There's a lot going on right now. So after this sequence of cutscenes, we're going to have all 6 of these initial characters that we've got introduced to all together. And they are basically going to be, there was a monster that attacked that banquet that Victor was at, and we are going to be essentially trying to escape from the banquet. Ferric is going to do some more skill ups here. This would probably be a good time for me to talk about how the leveling and skill up system works in this game. It's basically bound for the most part by progression. So when you fight a boss and defeat it, you get what's called a Grimoire Shard. And then you can cash in your Grimoire Shards for either skills or stat ups. And then as you spend them, every like 2 or 3 levels, you'll also get additional, they're not random, but they're sort of set stats. So you want to spend your Grimoire Shards pretty frequently in order to make sure that you're kind of keeping up pace with the strength of the enemies in the game. But you also can't really get too far ahead because you are sort of limited by your progress, because you won't get any more Grimoire Shards until you go and advance the story and defeat more bosses. So, but we're all set here. The skill system is also kind of like broken up into tiers. So we're in tier 1 for a bit, I think, until we get like 10 skills, and then we'll advance and we'll get access to some other skills and kind of so on and so forth. There are certain skills we don't really care about. We're just going to kind of learn them so that we can get maybe some more stat ups or get to the next part of the actual skill board. But there are some pretty important skills that we'll learn along the way, and we'll definitely call those out as we're learning them and sort of explain why they're so useful.
So this particular part is a big tower. Perhaps you've seen big towers before in any RPGs that you have played. Very tall tower, many floors. Commence with the climbing. Here we go, crew. Check your heart rate at the top.
And we're already seeing some more crits with Sienna. That's the character that Ferric put the
Life thread.
that life thread on. Yep.
Yeah, she's got a nice AoE and a high crit rate, so that's a nice combo.
Yep.
So right there. Oh, I thought she got everything.
Pretty good though.
Yeah, pretty solid.
Yep.
And more stairs. Stairs, stairs, stairs. Everybody loves stairs.
We're getting there. Yeah, we're almost to the top of the tower here, and then there's going to be the boss that attacked the banquet is here on the other side of this door. This is the Forbidden Mantis. It's kind of a flame mantis. We're going to make sure everybody gets this Poetic March from Victor. That's going to increase attack, and then the armor break was already applied by Glenn. So yeah, Ferric's going to hit it here with the Killian's Ultra again, because that is one of the strongest things that we can do early on in the game. And then we'll just kind of lay the damage on here until he falls over.
That should do it right there. Oh, jinxed it.
You jinxed it. It's okay.
Because each of those animations is going to slow you down, so you want to minimize the animations as much as possible.
Yeah.
Killian must not have done very much damage, unfortunately. So back to the sewers.
Thought there was going to just be one sewer sequence in this game.
Exactly.
There's two.
Can't get enough of those sewers.
Yep. All right, and this was Ferric did a really good job there avoiding that encounter until he got to the right side of it. That is kind of like a surprise encounter that you get there as well. Most of the time you can see the enemies coming, that time you cannot. But if you engage the fight from the correct side, you can just escape and keep running because you will be past sort of like the point where you would actually get the encounter. So again, all this stuff just takes practice. Like every encounter, you have to kind of understand how to move around it so that you can avoid it. It's a lot to learn, I guess. Now, just really quick, there was a class emblem that we could have gotten there at the exit to the sewers. That was the Cleric emblem. We used to get that in the run, but then we figured out that we didn't really need it, and we'd rather just not have to heal people. It's a little too slow.
Yeah, the emblems also give you stat ups, but you want to grab the ones that are going to give you the stat ups that you actually use. And the healing emblem, you don't really use those stat ups. So, oops.
Yep.
I need to talk to you twice.
That's okay. There's a couple specific fights where we need to do some healing, and we can kind of get by with the abilities that mainly Victor has. So Ferric is doing a sequence of tutorials here. This is sort of like the last of the tutorials before we actually exit this area. We have a crafting tutorial here teaching us how to upgrade weapons and then also put crystals into them. Crystals give you various like stat ups and ability ups. We're not really going to be interacting with the crystal system too much in the run. There are really good crystals that you can get, but the run is routed in such a way that you don't really need them. We used to get some, or we used to kind of roll the dice on maybe getting some good ones, but it just never really kind of was consistent enough for us to really include in the run. Ferric just did another tutorial there for the deals system that this game has. There's a lot of collectibles around. They're usually like orange baubles that you'll see on the screen. We will be picking up a lot of those over the course of the run, and then when you sell them to merchants, if you sell the right combination of certain collectibles, you can unlock deals, and there's one of those in particular that we're going to care about in about maybe 20-25 minutes or so. That was the Adventurers Guild. We don't really care about the Adventurers Guild. There's a fast travel system in this game. We're going to be using that a lot. It's pretty straightforward. If you run close enough to a crystal, you unlock it as a fast travel location, and then you can open your map to kind of go back and forth between fast travel crystals. But this is probably the most important tutorial that we're doing right here. This is the tutorial for the reward board. Basically, the reward board is a side quest system in the game where if you complete certain objectives all over the world, you will unlock their entry on the reward board. It's kind of like the, I think it's called the duty board in Final Fantasy XII, but basically it's a way that you can get access to items, skill points, money, stuff like that, just by kind of exploring around and doing different things in the game world. So the reward board is important to us in a variety of ways. Here at the beginning of the run, Ferric is going to be doing a lot of stuff here in this area, which is called Roll-in Fields. And if you notice Ferric doing anything that just kind of doesn't seem like something you would typically do in a speed run, like come over here and...
Or fight a windmill.
Yeah, or just fight a windmill, I don't know. We're generally doing it because we want to unlock reward board entries, because right here early on, if we do 8 in a row, we get access to another Grimoire Shard, which is a free level. And this early in the game, our power is really... We're not under-leveled, but we're sort of... We haven't reached our full potential yet, so even just one extra Grimoire Shard really does kind of make a pretty big difference. Ferric is also grabbing money, items, things like that. We're running in a pretty specific pattern as well. And Ferric bought that tin ore there because we didn't get it as a drop, because we need a total of 6, and we have to actually do 2 different merchants in order to make sure that we get 6. So just a lot of very random, almost like errands that you're doing here in this Roll-in Fields area, but I promise you everything that Ferric is doing here is for a reason. It's either the reward board or it's an item that we need to kind of power up our party here early on to sort of get every edge that we can get as we kind of start taking on the world here, I guess.
So another encounter skip right there. We're kind of do a little wall hug. That one's not particularly difficult, so yes, exactly. Give it the hug.
That was me doing a hug.
Grabbing chests. Red chests are generally good.
Opening hidden caves.
Also good.
Mm-hmm. Like, for example, that one, Ferric opened the hidden cave, but he didn't actually go in there, and the reason why is because there's a reward board entry that just says find all the hidden caves in Roll-in Fields, and that's one of them, but we really don't care about what's in there, so we just want to pop it open so that we get the reward board entry. Also, it's really hard to say reward board.
Yeah, reward board 3 times in a row is difficult. Little sneaky chest down there.
Yeah, that's a very good chest, too. So we're done picking up gear. Ferric just kind of equipped everything that he's been picking up here, and we're pretty much ready to go here into the next sort of portion of the story. Not quite yet, but we're getting close. So this is the village of Basil. For whatever reason, that fast travel crystal, you have to run right up to it to trigger it, and they don't all work that way.
The hitbox is not huge on that one.
Yeah, that one's a little
finicky.
A little finicky. That's a good word for it.
So everybody get clean. No stinky adventures, please.
Take a little dip here.
Take a little bath. Little suds right there.
And we're running around here to the Warrior Shrine, which is the first class emblem that we're actually going to get. The Warrior Shrine is just incredibly powerful. It increases all of the offensive stats for the character who's wearing it. It also gives skills, and there's a really good single target skill and a really good AoE physical attack skill that we want. You also got a Sparkle Pig for
Sparkle Pigs are good. We want Sparkle Pigs so that we can get uncommon items for our crafting mats.
It's true. You did
and I actually killed a bunch of them like really fast, so...
Yep, it's all that good gear that you got.
That's pretty nuts. Yeah, that went very fast.
You got 2 Sparkle Pigs there. That's definitely good.
So the Warrior Shrine's just around the corner here with one of my favorite monsters.
Yes.
It's not a horse. It's a dun-da-da-da Slorse.
There's a Slorse. Oh, we don't know. I don't know what the S stands for.
I don't either. But somehow it's just like a better horse if it's a Slurs. I don't know what else to say.
Of course, of course.
Of course, of course.
This is Glenn's Ultra. We haven't seen this one yet, but Glenn's Ultra is an AoE physical attack that also breaks all of the offensive and defensive stats of the enemies that you're fighting. It's extremely powerful in certain fights. The actual debuff is not as strong as Armor Break, so we don't always want to use it, but a lot of times it's a very, very good ability. All right, so we got that warrior emblem. You equip emblems basically the same way that you would equip like an accessory. So Ferric just immediately throws that warrior emblem on Glenn. Because Glenn is a very good damage dealer for us right now, and Glenn also does not have an AoE. And we're going to be fighting groups of enemies for a little bit, so we want to put that on Glenn so he gets access to an AoE.
Or Glenny and Lenny, as I like to call them when they're together.
Which is not that often, honestly.
Here they are together.
It's like a sitcom, Glenny and Lenny.
So we just teleport back to the same point we were at because it's going to reset these sheep, and we have to kill 6 sheep to open up a spot on the reward board. So we just use that fast travel to reset everything.
Yep.
Nice.
6 out of 6 wool turtles. That's the reward board entry that we needed. So, all right. We're finally done doing reward board stuff, so Ferric's going to open it up here. We've got our 8 reward board entries plus the 3 caves that we got. And that gave us access to a second Sacred Water, which is all we need for the run, and an extra Grimoire Shard, which is perfect. So Ferric's going to do some skill ups here, and then we're going to do... we're going to finally start advancing the story a little bit more, plus we're going to do some crafting.
Get...
I think you left a skill point on Rob, just as a heads up.
Okay. That's probably fine because we had more Sparkle Monsters, so let's see here. Oh, I have 7 of those. Wow.
Don't even need any thin hides. Okay.
Okay. Sorry, got to refocus here for a second.
Yep, so each weapon you can upgrade up to twice, and we got enough materials from the reward board, plus the encounters that we were doing, plus the shops that we bought, to upgrade the weapons for Len.
Cat lovers, cat lovers. You're going to see that cat 2 more times. If you guys are cat lovers, I want to see those cat emojis in the chat.
Yeah, we're going to be passing that cat a lot. It's got a basket on its back. It's like a basket cat.
It's got a sweet purr, though.
Kind of rumbles.
Yeah, it's very rumbly, exactly.
Yep. Yeah, so Ferric upgraded the weapons for Killian, Len, and Rob, and they're going to be some of our main damage dealers for a while here. And those
Attention cat lovers in 3, 2, 1. Pet the cat, pet the cat.
All right. This early on, those upgrades do make a pretty big difference because just the overall power level of the weapons is not exactly that great. So being able to upgrade them, you get, I think, like +6 attack to each of them, and that is quite a bit this early on in the run. It's another Slorse.
Yes, that Slorse is not going to be long for this world.
Slorse lovers. All right, and the reason we're doing all this right now is we need to get to the next area. And this guy that we just saved...
Last chance to pet that cat if you guys like cats. I'm giving you a countdown. 3, 2, 1. Pet that cat. All right. Sorry, Blaze. Go ahead. It's got such a good rumble. What can I say?
It feels like you should get like vibration on the controller.
I love that cat. That cat's
the
best. I want to ride that cat.
Yeah.
Right, so. Go ahead.
So basically, we were trying to get a pass to get through a checkpoint because we're trying to leave the area. They basically locked everything down after that monster attacked, and we need to kind of get out of here because we've got the Princess of Torment with us. Not really a good place that we want to be stuck. So, so we were trying to kind of work with this person who said they could give us a pass. They actually gave us a fake one, and then, you know, made us save their lives. So, you know, now we're just going to take out their servants and then get the key to the, I don't know, don't worry about it.
Complete the quest.
You did.
Yeah,
you're fine.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I thought it was blocked by those children for a second, so. Okay, sorry, what were you saying?
Nothing. You're good. So yeah, we got our key. We can go through the, to the next area now.
No purple toad. Rip.
There's a random chance that you can see a special monster there, and we consider it good luck when you do, so.
All right, Eternal Flame Temple. Spooky cobwebs and ghosts.
Yeah, so we don't get to go through the checkpoint. We get to go through the cave teeming with the undead. But I guess we get to go through, so that's what matters, right? All right, you got a sparkle zombie, so you're definitely going to get your thick hide that you need, which is nice.
Thick hide is needed for an upgrade at the end of this area.
Yep.
That's nice to get that. Very good.
Thin hide wasn't enough for us. We need a thick hide.
That's right. So we're going to be fighting a couple sequences of monsters called ghosts. They have kind of a special mechanism that Blaze can describe to you.
Yeah, so from here to the end of this dungeon until we get to the boss, we're going to be doing a series of encounters with these ghost enemies. The way the ghosts work is if you attack them with a physical attack like Glenn just did there, they will resist physical attacks for the rest of the fight. And vice versa. So like if the turn order had been different and Len would have gone first, then Ferric would have been able to attack with a magic attack, and then only physical attacks would deal damage, basically. So the nice thing about this is as long as we attack with Glenn and Len, or Glenny and Lenny,
Glenny and Lenny,
Ferric
exactly.
likes to
Yes.
give them their sitcom name. That is enough to take out a ghost. So we kind of just want to attack with those two, let the rest of the party kind of just sit these fights out. Glenny and Lenny got this. And this is kind of the first of our like environmental puzzles. This is fairly straightforward. There's just a couple switches that we need to check, or push switches. So Ferric hit the first one there, and then we're gonna have to go around to the other side here to hit the second one.
So the next set of ghosts, you can actually go too fast. Is that even possible in a speedrun?
It's very possible.
Where the dialogue doesn't catch up to where you are and you have to actually exit out of the combat because it locks you up. We will see what happens here.
Yeah, we'll find out after this.
Looks like we're good.
Yeah, it also messes up your combat speed for like one turn for a second. I don't know. It's just something about the way that that sort of like world, when you're sort of walking on the map, cutscene system works. The characters are kind of having little conversations, but then when you get into battle and they're still having a conversation, sometimes the game does some weird things. So, all right. So Ferric switched the warrior emblem to Killian in anticipation of the boss fight that's coming up here, which is against the Dream Eater. This is probably the first like pretty difficult fight in the game if you're playing it casually. The Dream Eater has several different phases that he goes through, brings in some ads that you have to deal with. The ideal thing that Ferric will want to do here is get Killian's Ultra off before the ads show up, so we'll see if it is kind to him in terms of like how everything goes. Yep, that was good because you were able to buff and debuff the enemy before Killian went. And then, because Killian's Ultra is an AoE, so once these ads get brought into the fight, you don't want to use it because it'll take them out, and then they'll get resummoned. They do nasty things when they die, just a lot of bad stuff. So we kind of want to ignore them anyway, and this sort of just lets us do that.
Yep, so that went really well. It all has to do with your initiative order, and it sometimes doesn't work out that way, where this boss will actually move into his next phase before Killian goes, and then you can't use his AoE attack because it'll hit the ads. But that was basically perfect because I got the buff on Killian, I got the debuff on the monster, and then was able to hit it with Killian's Ultra. So now we just kind of work our way through it. There's one more phase after this, and then he's done.
Yeah.
Very cool boss, though. Again, really neat sprite, like super spoopy. He's got like a swords in him, and like a shield. Like he's got like weird horns, and just All kinds of stuff going on there.
It's like a Castlevania boss almost.
Yeah, it's Castlevania things.
Yeah. There is a really cool, like if you're trying to do like a world record run of this, there's also a really cool thing that you can try to do with Killian's Ultra at the end of this fight, where if things line up, you can actually try to do the Ultra for the kill and skip that last transition back onto this screen. But if you miss it, like, you definitely waste some time. So Ferric was definitely doing the safer strat on the whole. And you remembered my light attack crystals. Thank you.
You're welcome. This is a co-op run after a while. I don't want to forget your power-up crystals.
Yeah, I need those for later. I need those for the final boss.
So this would be probably a good time for announcements as I work my way through this.
Yeah. So we got a rat. Kind of watching what collectibles Ferric gets here. So this is the area where we kind of care about what we pick up, because it'll impact our ability to get upgrades later.
And we're already on to another boss fight. That was kind of we have to slip by some slippery snakes there, and we did a good job. So.
Yeah, that was a really good skip. You worked really hard on that, because that was another one where you used to kind of get it from the back and then run away, and then Ferric figured out a way that you could just like skip the whole thing. So this is the row fight. We're going to do this fight very similar to the fight that we just did, but there's going to be a little bit of a curveball that he's going to throw at us here in a second. So we'll sort of see how these first couple turns go. Did not, unfortunately, get the preferred turn order here because Glenn went after Killian, so we didn't get armor break up, and we want to wait to use Killian's Ultra until that armor break is on as well. So what Ro has done now is he's done a counter stance, which is basically attacks he will counter, except for these specific attacks that these three characters just happen to have. So Oil Slash. Ooh, Lenny.
I'm not sure if armor break's still on, but we'll see.
It should still be on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Lenny? What happened to Lenny?
Lenny took a strong laser to the face.
Lenny took a big flat. That's not good.
Yeah, it'll slow the fight down a little bit, but it's okay. But yeah.
That's actually very good. He just did one counter stance.
Yeah, that was nice.
Lenny can do a flat if he only does one counter stance. Counter stance slows you down big time, so that actually went really well.
Yep. All right, so we are now into a sequence where our party of 6 has been broken up into 3 smaller parties. I don't know if anybody's ever had that happen to them in an RPG before. Maybe.
I'm not sure. Possibly. Could have happened before.
And each character or each party kind of gets to do their own little thing here. So we've got Lenny and Glenny together, and they're going to just kind of climb this mountain for a little bit here.
And host, if you have any announcements, feel free.
I sure have so many donations for you. To get us started, you do have a couple well wishes from the start of the game. One from Tillerin for $20 saying, "Good luck to Blaze and Ferric on their Chained Echoes run." And another $20 from Strunk Chunkler saying, "Good luck to both of you. Sad I couldn't make it, but thank you for showing off all the work of that community has put into this. Couldn't be prouder of both of you. Hashtag Pushy the Org."
All right, thanks so much, Strunk. He's one of the top players in this game and was very instrumental in putting this run together. So big shout outs to Strunk Chunkler.
Yeah, Strunk is our favorite Aussie who also runs Chained Echoes. And also shout outs to Tillerin for watching our dog while we're at RPG Limit Break.
Tillerin's a close friend.
Yep.
So yeah, so thank you. But yeah, I wish you were here, Strunk. We're doing this one for you. So.
Yep.
So anyway, now we're just kind of moving through here. There's following some fairy lights and heading up on another boss. It's a relatively straightforward boss. Have to grab an item here for Blaze that he's going to need much later on in the game. Basically the end of the game.
More items for the final boss fight for Blaze. Thank you.
Let's not forget those because that doesn't make me look bad. All right, so another very cool boss. This reminds me of the poisoned boar from Princess Mononoke. Mm-hmm. Just the kind of blood and the way it's kind of in that black tar. But as far as a boss fight goes, very straightforward.
Yeah. These are honestly 2 of our strongest characters at this point, and they kind of got put together, which is
Glenny and Lenny. Exactly. There they are together again. You said they're not together that often. There they are. Yeah, teaming up again, the power duo.
Yeah, Lenny doesn't really get used too much after Act 1, unfortunately, but Glenn is kind of a mainstay for most of the run, except when he's kind of taken out of the party by the story. So And now we have our next of the three kind of like, I guess, interludes, so to speak. We're all kind of going to reconverge on one specific point. But Victor, Rob, and Killian get to go ride some minecarts together. I don't know, Ferric, have you ever rode the minecarts in an RPG before? Mm-hmm. There's some really important abilities that Ferric is learning here in this particular sequence because we've kind of busted. This is the point where we can kind of get into that second tier. The important abilities that we are learning here, the main one is charging on Rob. Charging is basically a boost, but the really good reason, like, it's really nice to have an offensive boost, obviously, but specifically to how the combat is going to work, a little bit later on. We're not quite there yet, but basically what's going to happen is Rob is going to spend a turn charging up, and a lot of the other characters in the party are going to spend a turn kind of debuffing the enemy, and then it's all going to just kind of come together, and Rob is going to be a force to be reckoned with. So we're going to start putting those puzzle pieces in place here, but at the moment, Killian is still kind of like our main damage dealer, and he's still rocking that warrior emblem as well. And we've got the first of our minecart rides here. So this is actually a really, like, when you first play this, it's actually a little bit wild because there's a couple spots where if you have these 4 switches here, and you have to change the directions on the track. And if you don't change the directions in time, you will go into a skull icon on the map. And when you go into a skull icon on the map, bad things happen. So that has definitely never happened to Ferric or I on accident when we're really just kind of focused on going fast, has it, Ferric?
Nope. This is very challenging for me because if you don't do this right, you can hit the switch and do all kinds of stuff that you do not want to do. So
yeah, for whatever reason, the cursor system
kind of focusing.
Yep. Sometimes it will target the switches when you want to target the monster. So good job.
So that's one of 2. There's another one coming up. You have to hit switches in the correct sequence, power people up in the correct sequence, not hit the switch when you're not supposed to. It takes some practice, I'm just going to say. Oh,
for sure. Yeah, and again, sort of like combined with the fact that every turn order that you get in this game is a little bit different at first because I don't know the exact mechanics behind it, but basically the way I would describe it is speed influences turn order pretty dramatically in this game. But for turn 1, it's sort of a little bit of, there must be an RNG roll or something that happens as well because you can definitely get slower characters going before faster characters, or the enemy might go before you in a way that is unexpected. So you have kind of like an expected turn order, but there are a lot of deviations from that you will see in any run of this game that you do.
So we definitely want to one-cycle those, which we did. So we're going to be coming up on the next minecart. A little bit trickier. You have to kind of go past the first turn and continue to go straight, and then you have to find out somebody that's going to do the switch for you, and so you have to switch that, and then all the while you're trying to kill the boss as fast as you can. So this is not the boss. This is not quite there yet. You will see us in a minecart again. So
yep, the boss will be very boss looking.
Yeah, very boss like. Mm-hmm. He will be very boss.
Mm-hmm. All right, so Ferric's going to head on down here. This is the boss fight now. This is the Giga Drill Breaker. He's got drills for hands, as one does. So off to a good start here.
So this will be nice because the switch will come up and then Victor can hit it. That's going to be great. West.
Yep. And after Victor buffs up the other characters, you don't need him for as much. So he is the ideal candidate for stabbing the switch that you need in time.
If you get really lucky, you can get this guy before this turn here, but it's looking pretty good to finish him off here.
Yep.
Not quite.
All right, nice fight, though. That was a very standard fight.
Appreciate that.
Yep. Yeah, you're doing a really good job so far.
Those are difficult. I messed those up like so many times, so that feels really good to do those correctly under the lights, as they say. So,
Yep.
So that was pretty much it for the mines. I have to do some quick level ups here, and then we'll be leaving the mines. So, whoops.
So Ferric is kind of getting on to the next phase of our sort of master strategy for kind of breaking the combat in this game. Victor learned an ability called Basso Profundo, which is an AoE that inflicts the dry status. So this is our first time that we have kind of access to an elemental status ability. And then at the same time, Rob learned a passive ability called Water Attack. And Water Attack is going to add the water element to all of Rob's attacks moving forward. So we're not going to do this quite yet, but we are very soon going to be to the point, basically after Rob learns one or two more skills, where we're going to sort of see this elemental debuff system in action where Victor is going to apply the dry status while Rob charges up. And then Rob is just going to deal a ton of damage because these elemental debuffs, when they are applied and then the enemies get hit by that element, it is double damage. And that also is double after things like Rob's charging and any other sort of modifiers that are applied as well. So the numbers will get pretty ridiculous once we get to that point. We're not quite there yet. At this point, it is still better just to kind of let Killian take care of things.
Burbs.
Yeah, burbs and eggs.
Burbs in hats. Who doesn't like a burb in a hat, right? Stylish burbs.
This next fight coming up is one of my favorite.
Oh man, 5 eggs. Who's ready for some scrambled eggs? Let's do it. Let's scramble them up good, Killian. That's it right there. One shot. All right, we're on to our next boss fight.
Yep, so this is a couple of... Rob, apparently, we learn, you know, in the lore of the game, Rob is kind of the son of like a rich dude. And these are two of his dad's lackeys that have kind of showed up to sort of bring Rob back. Because Rob is kind of off the reservation in a sense in terms of the dynamics with the family and what is going on in the world politics. So this fight's kind of cool. So there's a bomb that comes out, and you can actually attack the bomb to kind of push it to the other side.
Pushy the bomb.
Pushy the bomb. And actually, at this point, the fight is over. We just have to wait for the bomb to explode.
Come on, bomb.
That happens quite a bit.
Yeah, it kind of slows you down a little bit. It's all right.
Yep. So yeah, we are cruising right along. That is the end of this. That is by far the longest of the three kind of interludes here that we're doing with the different members of our party. And now it is Sienna time. And I think you only need one more. I think you need the Newt.
Yeah, I haven't really been tracking them, but I trust you.
Yeah, I'm kind of keeping an eye on it.
We're trying to get 5 specific collectibles so I can get some weapon upgrades later that are in this area. So
yep.
Here's to hoping.
Yep. This area is kind of like our last chance to get them, so we are going to dip in here and get some more money. We don't need much longer, but at this moment we still do need a little bit of money. And this is the town of Rock Bottom. It is as appealing as it sounds. It is kind of just like a mining town that is very corrupt. There's a lot of like gangsters and a lot of shady stuff going on in Rock Bottom. You will never find a more wretched hive of scum and villainy in Chained Echoes.
In Chained Echoes.
In Chained Echoes.
In this game. Maybe in different games.
There's
but not this game.
Yeah, we're actually going to come across a character in a minute who kind of looks like Jabba the Hutt, or like acts like him as well. So, oh man, still holding out for that last one.
Newt.
Yeah,
is that what we're hoping for.
I need everybody to say Newt in the chat.
Newt,
we need to will a Newt into existence from these random collectible pickups. So yeah, there's the gangster guy surrounded by women in chain bikinis. So,
oh my.
You know, that's what you get. And in typical Sienna style, we are going to go steal from this guy because, you know, what's the worst that could happen?
Let's just take things.
Yeah. Also, it's cutscene money, so it doesn't really go into our actual like money total. But we're going to give it to a character that we want to join our party who has caught our eye at the bar. So
Exactly. And if there's a hole in an RPG and you have an option to jump down it, just jump down it.
yeah. Also, thanks for picking up those water bombs for me for the final boss fight.
Yeah, you need those also.
Yep.
I got you covered. Don't
Thank you.
worry.
All right, so Ferric is going to come down here, and this is my personal favorite character in the game. This is Bathraz. Bathraz is a kind of like a wizard type. We're going to do some menuing, and when you get a new character later on, they're going to still start with like their base skills that they would normally get, but you get all the Grimoire shards that you've kind of accumulated for everybody else so far. So Ferric is going to spend a little bit of time here skilling up Bathraz, giving him lots of magic and other stuff. So very important ability called Berserker that Bathraz is going to do as well.
All right.
All right.
Everybody's all up. So we also want to minimize the amount we're menuing. So I didn't want to menu until I picked up Bathraz, and that's when I did Sienna's level ups as well.
Yep.
So we got our disguise now. We can get out of town.
Yeah. Has anybody in an RPG ever put on a disguise to get out of town? I don't know. Just, again,
It's happened.
Another thing that's definitely happened in RPGs before.
Definitely happened.
All right, this is kind of the last call for the Newt. Come on, Newt.
Newt.
Newt. We got 1 or 2 more chances at it. It's not a big deal if we don't get it.
Hey,
Newt!
there's Newt.
Woo!
Okay, that's good.
All
Thank
right.
you.
That
So
actually was the last
So
one.
now I can actually get my upgrades. Thank you very much. I'm sure chat played a big part in that, so I appreciate that.
Oh, that was a good moment.
Newt. At least it didn't have to be rat, right?
Yeah.
Oh, thank you, everyone. I appreciate that. I still could have done it, but it's just like, I want the weapon upgrades. Come on, I want the good weapons. Like, is that too much to ask to get the good weapons?
Yep. This is just kind of a random boss. They're not going to do a whole heck of a lot here.
But you get to see
Yes.
Bathraz's Ultra.
Bathraz's Ultra is
Bathraz has
something...
got the biggest gun in the game. Check this out. This
Yep.
is sweet. So yeah, he's just totally OP. He's good.
Yeah, we're going to see a lot of that as the run goes along. At a certain point, it just kind of becomes the biggest single target damage that we can do. And yeah, basically the way it works, if you're curious how much damage it's doing, you get 10 hits each time, so just add a 0 onto the end of whatever number you're seeing, and that's how much damage Bathraz just did. So that was like 960 damage. I don't think we've seen that number. I don't think we've seen a number above like 600 something yet so far.
Yeah,
so.
he's pretty amazing. And he really factors into the second half of the run. We use him a lot. So for just that reason.
Yep, exactly.
Actually, the final battle is very important that way too.
Yep. All right, so everybody has reached this, the point where we're trying to go, the Prancing Pony in, oh, I'm sorry, it's called the White Rose Inn.
Prancing Pony.
But yeah, we're all reunited here. Bathraz does not stay with us, but he did help us escape, so that was
Don't
good.
worry, he'll be back.
Good on Bathraz.
If you like Bathraz, he will reappear. So.
That's right. But also in the meantime, we stayed the night at this inn and Len disappeared. So in typical RPG princess type,
yeah, where did Lenny go?
yeah,
Guess we'll find out.
happenings, Lenny got kidnapped. So
Oh dear.
that will not be the last time Len gets kidnapped either.
Len gets kidnapped quite a bit.
Yep. All right, so Ferric is running up here. This village, I believe, is called Aiden, but this is the village where we are going to go ahead and turn in the loot that we were just getting. Should be able to get the rare material pack. There it is. Nice. And that is all of the items that we need to finish our sequence of upgrades out here. So Ferric is going to finish upgrading Glenn's weapon and then is going to do a double upgrade on Sienna's Wakazashi.
The wackiest of weapons. The wacky. I like to call it the wacky Zashi.
Yeah.
So fully upgraded at ++.
And we're also talking to 3 specific NPCs in this village because that is going to sort of get us clued into where Len might have gone to. Turns out it was the darn innkeeper the whole time.
Oh gosh, not the innkeeper.
Yeah, wouldn't you know it? All right, so we're just going to run back to the inn here.
A little bit of backtracking. Now would be a good time if we have any announcements.
I have several donations to read, and I would love to get more because I'm so greedy. But first, if the two of you could actually explain the mech color bid war that's going to be sneaking up on us soon.
No, let's take care of that, sure.
Yeah, so if you're doing the Met Color Bid War, there's probably about maybe 20, 25 minutes left on that. It's at the end of Act 1. There's 5 colors to pick from. 3 of them are Evangelion references. I will sort of tell you that right now if that helps kind of like sweeten the deal a little bit for people who are thinking about donating. I won't tell you which 3, but you know, maybe you can figure it out. And then
how big a fan are you?
Yeah.
Let's find out.
Once we get full access to the Sky Armor, we will be able to change the color of all 4 Sky Armors, and they are super cool. They're a lot of fun. So yeah, definitely donate for that if you're looking for something to put your money towards.
So Lenny got kidnapped, Lenny got rescued. So thank goodness Lenny is back with us again. So to do a little swapping here, we're gonna put that on Glenn. Okay, it looks good. So we got a cutscene to skip here. And then, who here likes pudding? Anybody like pudding? Got past those.
I don't know if I like pudding a little bit before midnight, but generally I do like pudding.
It's a little late for pudding,
yeah.
yeah. But if you really need one, go hit the fridge. So
yeah, I don't know if I would eat pudding that looks like this though.
Yeah, not very appetizing. I got to agree with you there. So this particular one, we max out our AoEs so that we can kill them all before they attack us, and that significantly speeds up. There's 2 sequences of puddings. That was the first one.
Yeah. All of that upgrading and stuff that we've been doing is basically so that we can get out of this escape sequence and one other escape sequence coming up as quickly as possible.
Hope it kills that one.
Nice.
It did. So very good.
Yep.
That was a solid pudding run.
And there's a boss as soon as we get out of here, so Ferric is going to get ready for that boss fight now. This is a pretty, if you play the game casually, this is a very frustrating boss,
Yes.
probably the first couple times you try it. It's Arlette. We are hoping that we can kind of defeat Arlette before she gets into her particularly nasty abilities. She has one in particular that when you attack her, it heals her, and we do not want to see that. So we're going to hope for some big numbers here. There's a good crit right away from Sienna. Arlette is also weak to water, just sort of naturally, so Rob's water attack is going to deal a ton of extra damage. No crit, but it was still pretty nice.
Pedal Storm is very good.
You did crit the Pedal Storm.
Yeah,
that was
so
good.
that should be it right there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
good job.
thanks.
Good fight.
So Arlette is difficult because if she gets to her next phase, like she does something I think where your attacks actually heal her, so you have to wait a long time, and then you don't want to do that in a speed run. You kind of have to wait it out, and nobody wants to do that. So.
Yeah. All right, so we've saved Len, and we have sort of taken care of this innkeeper, and so now we're going to actually be able to get all the way to Tormund, which is Len's kingdom.
Also known as the rainy city of Tormund.
It is. It's very rainy. It's the Seattle of Chained Echoes.
Hey, that's my line. That's my. I named that. You can take it though.
I'll give you full credit.
So now we're just going to kind of sneak around here just to make our way to Tormund. So
Yeah.
let's see here. So you have to do a quick sneak past these boar things here called Vins. If you just hug that log and that wall there, you can get past those without a fight.
Yep.
Again, we want to minimize the encounters with the overland monsters as much as possible because we get enough experience with the boss fights and the other things that we do.
We do need a little bit more money for safety, though, so there's
How
one
about
more
that?
chest up here that we're
Is
going to get.
1,000 enough?
That's good. We got so many thin hides earlier, we're probably fine anyway.
I think
but
we are,
better,
yeah.
Better safe than sorry.
We didn't have to spend any money on thin hides, so I think we're in pretty good shape.
Yeah.
So this is very maze-like. You have to learn this routing. Hello, fox dogs, whatever you are there. So we're getting some rain, so that's promising for Tormund. And Tormund is it the capital city, or what exactly is the? How would you describe Tormund?
So there's basically 3 kingdoms in this in this world that the game takes place in. This is one of the 3 kingdoms. The other ones are Farnsport, where we started, and Wernshire, which is actually the area where that initial assault sequence was with Glenn and Killian. So those are kind of like the 3 main cities in the world, and they're all kind of at war with each other off and on.
So now would be a good time for some announcements. There's going to be a cutscene that's not skippable up here, so that will take a little bit of time.
Excellent. I have a $10 donation from Hotbot saying, #Pushy the Orb.
Hey, Pushy the Orb. I love Pushy the Orb. That's a puzzle that comes later in the game. So.
I just want to tell you both, good luck. We're all counting on you. Keep up the awesome work, Ferric and Blaze.
Thanks. You want to say who Hotbot is?
Hotbot is my brother, and Hotbot got me into speedrunning. And Hotbot has been to RPG Limit Break multiple times. I miss you so much, Hotbot. I wish you were here.
Hotbot's awesome. We were hoping Hotbot could make it, but he's here in spirit. So
yeah.
This one's for you, Hotbot.
For sure.
This next combat's for you. How about that? All right. So now we're going to actually just scroll screens here so that we can get back to the screen that we're currently on. Killian's just going to be on a roof contemplating life. I'm not sure. It's raining. Just being an odd Killian right now. So there he is.
Killian's entering his emo phase.
Yeah, Killian's entering his emo phase, exactly. So kind of zip up here, and then we're going to go back into the castle.
Yep. We've kind of explored what we need to explore to advance the story, and now we're going to reunite with the rest of our party members.
We're going to see Rob is a familiar face up here talking to I guess a serving person.
Rob is causing problems.
Rob is difficult.
Yeah.
Rob is being Rob.
Rob is being a snooty rich boy.
He comes around, though.
Yeah, Rob's okay.
Gotta love Rob. Rob makes this whole run go, so.
Yeah, I can't be mad at Rob.
Don't be mad at Rob. So this is a long, unskippable sequence of dialogue. So yeah, if you had an additional announcement, this would probably be a good time.
We have a donation from Gearster Carl, sorry about that, have to donate for one of my favorite games of the last years, May the Chains Be with You.
Oh, may the chains be with you. I haven't heard that one before, but I'll take it. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I feel like the chains are with me right now. So this dialogue, you have to do selections on, so you kind of have to work your way through it, look for question marks, like that. And then once you get to the third one, you can kind of turbo it, so.
Yep.
Like so. Because otherwise, you have to go through each dialogue sequence again. We're going to be coming up on a lot of menuing before we do an escape sequence, so I'll get to work on that once the guards show up.
Somebody called the cops on us.
I called the cops, exactly.
Yeah, the key to these fights is we want to use all of our best AoE attacks, and if we get a lucky crit, that and a good turn order, those guards should go down. Bathraz has also rejoined us as well. Bathraz has some very good AoEs for this point in the game as well. So if possible, we are hoping to defeat the guards before they get a chance to attack. It's not super likely, but we have put ourselves in the best position for that to happen. So we'll see how it goes once Ferric is wrapping up this very long and involved menu.
That does not look great. There we go.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
fine.
Because what's an RPG speedrun with lots of menuing? Come on, guys. If you don't like menuing, you probably shouldn't be doing an RPG speedrun. I've spent so much time working on menuing in this game.
Yeah.
And then you like make changes to the run, and then you have to change the menuing. Ooh, killed one of them. That's good.
Because you got one crit.
Yep.
That's how it works. We want Sienna to get crits.
Yeah, gotta love the menus.
Yeah.
Gotta love the menus.
Yeah, specifically, we haven't really talked about this yet, but you want there's like slot 1, which is where everybody's like kind of primary abilities are, except for Glenn, because it's a little weird with the way the emblem abilities work. You actually
2 crits.
can't put them. You might get all of these. Okay, 2 out of 3 ain't
that's
bad.
still really good.
Yeah. If it's an emblem ability, you can't put it in the first slot, but otherwise we always want to put our most used ability in the first slot, so you can kind of just arrow over to it immediately selected at the beginning of fights.
Exactly.
And you can manipulate that in the menus of this game, which is kind of cool.
And there is also cursor memory in this game. I don't know if you mentioned that or not.
Yep, so that helps for the longer fights for sure. We do have an Ultra also, which will be nice for the last one.
So I got kind of a weird turn order there where the guards got to go before me, but that should take care of those guys.
By that I mean Sienna.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, one more fight here.
So Killian's Ultra is up, so we will use that. And hopefully we'll get all three with the Thraws. It's looking pretty good.
Nice, yeah. Yeah, that Ultra will generally, if you get the right turn order, at least give you one of those fights for free without the guards getting attacks. And again, it's not that we're in any danger of dying or anything like that. We just want the fights to go as efficiently as possible, and that means, you know, cutting down on the animations that the enemies are doing against us. So, and then Ferric tagged another fast travel crystal, and we're done with Tormund. We're on to the next area.
There's a big spooky monster down here that, well, I don't have to fight it. I'm probably not going to fight it. So let's see what happens. We'll go say hello to him. Hello.
This is a
Sneaky
really
back up here, and then whoop. Don't mind us.
Yeah, that's
Done.
a really cool skip because that Gazer will start chasing you. It functions a little bit differently than a lot of the other enemies in the game. And you can kind of hide in a spot where it can't get to you. And then while it's resetting to its natural position, you can sort of sneak past it. So that's a really fun thing that we only do once in the run, and you just did it first try. So nicely done.
And we're off to our next area. The flower fields of Perpetua. Or Perpetua, depending on how you want it. Depending on if you're speaking high British or low British. Perpetua or Perpetua.
I feel like
that's not true. I made that up.
I feel like Perpetua makes more sense, but it's a fake word, so you can say it however you want.
It is a fake word, exactly.
This is another pretty involved environmental puzzle that Ferric's going to get started on here in a second. We're going to do a little bit more menuing because when we did that menu in the bar, we didn't have Rob, so we need to kind of get Rob up to speed here. This is kind of the point where Rob takes over as one of the big damage dealers for the party because he's sort of finally reached that critical mass of good secondary abilities that sort of offset his lower than average strength at the beginning of the run. So he's actually got 2 attack ups, which is pretty nuts, pretty good.
That's good. That's our menuing. So basically, that's kind of like Blaze was saying. That's let's get Rob powerful menuing right there.
Yeah, exactly. This area is a little hard to wayfind through. A lot of these areas are, and also the movement speed in this game is pretty high relative to a lot of other games that you would play. So just learning how to kind of move through these maps, especially when they are kind of more maze-like this one, is really one of the things about this run that takes the longest time to learn, I would say.
Yeah, a lot of routing work. The tile sets look very similar, and the movement is extremely zippy. So this will be the first time we're using Basso Profundo. I'll let Blaze explain that to you.
Yeah, I kind of mentioned it a little bit ago when we learned the abilities. So Rob is going to charge here. Victor is going to put dry on the enemies. And then it comes back around to Rob again. Rob is going to deal double damage plus his charge percentage, which I believe at this point is 150%. So he's basically dealing 300% damage at this point whenever he does that, and the dry is tacked on. There's even more than that because of the attack ups that Ferric got as well, but basically what you need to know at this point is Rob is kind of like our plan A for most fights because the numbers that he can put out are just way above and beyond what anybody else can do. So, and then here's the environmental puzzle here. We find this this substance. I don't know what it is.
It's mucus.
Yeah, we're gonna sprinkle it on these pods, and then mushrooms are gonna bloom
with a sweet glug 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 sound. So remember, stay hydrated.
Yes. Yeah.
Speaking of which, I forgot to grab a bottle of water.
I had one around here somewhere.
I'm getting very dry.
It's over there on the floor. We'll get it in a bit.
Oh, you have one?
It's to your right.
Okay, thanks. So this is a very tricky puzzle because you have to do a lot of backtracking. These these mushroom caps are appearing everywhere, but sometimes it's the game's being trolly and you're not supposed to take them, so it's a lot to sort of sort through. So here's another backtrack. There's a total of 7 pods, I believe, that you have to spray your mucus on or something like that.
Yeah, something like that. And yeah, like you said, it's a lot of backtracking. It's not exactly intuitive when you do it where the next one is, and you're going to kind of fumble around a bit trying to find your way until you've done it a dozen or 2 times. So yeah, at this point, we're pretty far away from the path forward, but we have opened the path forward, so Ferric is going to head up there now. There's going to be a shopping sequence and then another boss fight. Yeah, the other thing that getting that rare materials pack that we got a little while ago allowed us to do is do a double upgrade on this recurve bow for Rob. And Rob is officially like just the most OP that we can get right now. So, so this is a pretty cool boss fight. This is the Puppeteer. It's actually 2 bosses in one. It's a beetle with an angel on top. Ferric generally prefers to fight them separately, so we're going to try to take the beetle out first with a couple of really big attacks here, like Sienna's Ultra. And
hey,
you got a crit.
There we go.
Nice
That's good.
Big number when you get that crit with Sienna.
Always
Very
nice.
good. And then Rob should be able to finish that off here, and then we just need to kind of clean the angel section up. So we'll bring in Bethraz to help because they're weak to light. Bethraz has light and dark attacks. Len has kind of like the other elements for the most part. So we're mostly going to do a lot of physical stuff, and then those elemental debuffs that aren't really like ability specific because
that
they're
went
more
really well.
based on what the other characters are debuffing with.
Very
but yeah,
happy with
nice
that.
job. Yep. That was a very smooth
that can
fight.
really be a mixed bag depending on what happens, but the crit is always nice, so that felt good, and I got a good turn sequence there as well. So
Yeah. Yeah, good
somebody
fight.
crit, didn't they?
Sienna did on her Ultra. It was a very large number.
Thank you. I already blanked that out. I was like, oh my gosh, that's why that went well.
Yeah.
Because I don't normally power swing with Rob there. I usually do power pierce, but I knew I could finish off the little beetle with the power swing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, thanks for the water.
Yeah.
My hands are occupied though, but they won't be soon when I hand off the controller to Blaze because this is a co-op run.
Yeah, you got a little bit of time left still.
So Leviathan's Trench. Very pretty area.
Yeah, this area is really cool. It's wine time. The enemies are in wine bottles.
I'll take it. What time of night is it? It's time just to start laughing at things.
Yeah, we're
It's getting to be loopy hours.
we'll slowly descend into chaos.
Just wait till I start doing commentary and start throwing the puns out there. Y'all better be ready. So
I'm getting a thumbs up. They want more puns in the production
there's
pit.
so many puns coming. Danger, danger for what you wish for.
But yeah, these are the fights. We're pretty much again kind of keeping pace with the enemies that we're fighting, and Rob is really kind of loaded for bear at this point. So generally speaking, as soon as Rob gets his second turn, every fight should end from here on out, at least for the basic encounters. There's a few spots where we might lag a little bit more behind, but for the most part, we're going to be able to keep ahead of pace of the enemies from this point forward now. We've sort of attained critical mass in terms of skills learned. And,
he gets so
equipment.
much better, though.
Oh, yeah.
Like, Blaze gets, like, OP Rob for the entire game, for his entire half, which is awesome.
Yeah, I will say, from a speedrun perspective, it does make the game a little bit less interesting just because we're going to be doing a lot of the same stuff over and over again. But yeah, that was a good sneak. You found that sneak.
So now we have 3. We had 1 first, and then we had 2. And now we have 3 monsters before we hit the final boss. So
yeah. Yeah, once you just play this game enough, you sort of learn, like, again, how to get through these areas as efficiently as possible. And the movement is really like I would say if there's one thing about learning this run that is, I don't want to say it's like a barrier to entry, but the thing that it, like, separates you from kind of somebody who's learning to somebody who's kind of reached that mastery level. It really is sort of just learning the movement through all these different areas. They all look different. They all have different encounters, stuff like that. So
So we got a boss fight coming up, another sort of tricky one. We don't want him to get to a certain phase because he can wipe your party. So.
Yep, this is the Jin, G-I-N, because the maker of this game, Matthias Linda, also clearly loves puns as much as we do. So the Jin uses some pretty scary fire attacks. So we're going to be hoping for some big numbers here from Sienna and Rob once we get everybody kind of buffed up and the monster debuffed here. So we'll see how Sienna does here to start with. No crit that time, but very respectable. And then Rob should be pretty good to go because in its fire form here, this enemy is weak to water as well. So yeah, over 1,000 damage from Rob. Little bit of a damage race, but we're going to win it here. No issues.
Petal Storm to finish it, 900 crit, very nice. I'll take that. So
yeah, we haven't really talked about Petal Storm.
If Sienna can't crit on her Ultra, she might as well crit on Petal Storm.
Petal Storm did more than the Ultra.
Petal Storm is good.
Yep.
But, yeah, it did. It did like 100 more than
the
Ultra. That's crazy.
Yeah, Sienna's damage ceiling is very high because she gets increases to her critical rate and her actual critical damage modifier as well. So at this point in the game, Sienna is one of the best things that we can do as sort of like a plan B to Rob. So, but yeah, Petal Storm is kind of a special ability. You have to use a different ability, and then you have a percentage chance of Petal Storm becoming active. It's not guaranteed, but Ferric has been getting very good Petal Storm luck so far in this run, so that is nice to see. We like
Petal
to see
Storm
that.
skill.
Yeah, you're willing those Petal Storms into existence. So we're doing a little more skilling up here, and then we're going to have another boss fight at the top of the staircase here.
So Rob looks good, and then we'll do Sienna. All right, so we got another quick boss fight up here. This is going to be the Thieves Guild.
Yes. Everybody's chasing us now.
I know.
We must be doing something right in this run.
It must be very threatening.
Yeah. Everybody's sending their lackeys after us. So this is a group fight. It's a little different than the last couple fights that we've had. So like in this fight, Glenn's Ultra is really good. Because of that, again, that kind of the debuffing as well as the really nice damage. And yeah, we should be able just to hopefully finish everybody off with Rob here.
And if everybody's been sitting at their desk, go ahead and get up and take a stretch break right now. Stretch your back. If you're in bed, that's fine.
Yeah. We're rapidly approaching the end of Act 1, which means that we're going to be getting our Sky Armor soon.
Oh, I already got them. Wow, nice.
Yeah, that was a good
very
fight.
Good finish. So this would be a good time for any announcements if we have them. This is just an escape sequence where I run through the Leviathan Trench with no music.
All right, then. Well, this next donation is in all caps, so consider this your volume warning.
Oh, dear.
This is $55 from Bursic saying,
Oh my gosh. Okay, thanks, Bursic. For those of you that don't know, please stay tuned for another, 15 minutes when we choose the Skymer colors. That is one of them. So
Now I'm really curious to know who's winning the bid war.
Exactly,
after that.
yeah. Just that bid war, if you got a color preference, you got to get it in. So, no, thank you so much for that, Bursic. We appreciate that. Probably have time for one more announcement as we work our way out of here.
all right, I have another from Enker _ saying, good luck, Blaze and Ferric.
Thanks, Anchor.
Thanks, Anchor. Definitely appreciate it.
Anchor is someone who worked really hard on the glitch run that I did last year.
Yep, and appreciate all the people staying up late to watch this. It is, it's late hours, especially if you work a 9 to 5 and have to go to work tomorrow. So very appreciative of those that are tuning in.
Like me.
Yeah, I'll be sleeping in. Thank you very much. All right, cutscene skip here, and then we're going to be back on. We're going to be on the airship, which is called the Aurora.
Yep.
And unfortunately, one of our party members has gotten kidnapped again.
Which party member would have gotten
kidnapped? Who could that
kidnapped?
possibly be?
Yeah.
Yes, Lenny has been kidnapped yet again.
Yep.
So we're going to work our way. There's a couple different airship levels here. These are not the adventurers you seat guards. Just you give them the quick Jedi mind trick. There's no hello. Don't mind us. Okay, so
they're on break right now.
Yeah, they're on break. Yeah.
They don't have time to fight us. They're not getting paid for that.
Exactly.
Now this floor.
This floor, on the other hand, they're off break.
Yeah, this is the prison floor.
They must be rotating the shifts or something.
Yeah.
All right, refocus here.
Yeah, these guard fights very similar to the ones that we did in Tormund a little while ago. Although we are kind of using the Rob strats now, so they will definitely go down when Rob gets his second turn, but they'll get one attack in beforehand.
So we did skip the cutscene, but we did get Lenny back there. So
Lenny's been saved again, everybody.
We're doing a good job at saving her.
For like the third time in half an hour.
Yep.
Yep. Sometimes you're just a character in an RPG who gets kidnapped a lot.
Exactly.
All right, we got a couple more guard fights here.
So for these, you may notice I'm not really particularly choosing any of Glenn's abilities because we're just counting on Rob to finish things off. Rob can get stunned. If he does, we sort of, it's called stagger. We kind of do a backup strat at that point, but cross slash, sure. But generally speaking, he can do all the work, all the heavy lifting.
All right. So we've got one more fight in this section,
which is actually a sky armor.
Yeah, and this must
How's
be this.
that gonna go?
This must be this guy's first day because we're gonna fight more of these in a little bit, and they do a lot more damage.
Yeah, exactly.
So I don't know.
He needs to skill up or something.
You must have the training wheels on that thing still.
The sky armor training wheels.
Yeah.
I like it.
Ooh, by Bethraz.
Yeah, Bethraz did a flat there. That's
Yeah,
okay though.
That's okay. We just need Rob.
The nice thing about this game is like you don't have to res your characters after combat. They will automatically come back with full health.
Yeah.
But oh my gosh, who is that to the left? Is that Killian? Is that Lenny?
Is Lenny getting kidnapped
Lenny,
again?
are you getting? We just rescued you, Lenny. Are you getting kidnapped again? I don't believe this. Oh my gosh.
No.
Okay, he tossed her back to us. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Killian.
Killian's having a moment. We mentioned a little bit ago, Killian was kind of entering his emo phase when we were in Tormund there, and everything kind of just comes crashing down on Killian here, and he is leaving our party. He will not be in our party
Killian,
anymore.
why? We're such a good party.
Major plot twist here at the end of Act 1.
We love your wide swing, Killian. What are you doing?
Yeah.
So now we have our sky armor for the first time, which is fantastic. We get to do a couple introductory sky armor fights, and you can explain the gear up system.
Yeah, the main thing that's different than we got those kind of like very, very simple sky armor fights at the very beginning of the game. We actually have an overdrive meter for the sky armor now. It works a little bit differently than the overdrive in our normal battles. It's just orange in the middle and then red on the two sides. You start every battle in Gear 1, and then you can do what's called gearing up to Gear 2. When you go into Gear 2, you deal more damage, but your skills also cost more. And you also don't really like replenish anything between turns. So we're going to do most of our damage in Gear 2. You can kind of switch. You have to go 1 to 2, back to 0, and then 1 to 2. So it kind of goes in a little rotation. But most of our damage dealing is going to be done in Gear 2 because we're just going to get maximum damage that way. So also, epic sky armor music.
So good.
Such a good track. So
I mean, all the music in this game is just amazing. I believe it was all written by one person, if I'm not mistaken. Do you happen to know, Blaze?
Eddie M. Yep. Yeah, Eddie. Eddie is the composer of the music in this game.
Yeah, it's so good.
He's a big supporter of the speedruns as well.
Eddie is a very talented composer. Check him out. So.
Yeah. And then this is our boss fight for Act 1. This is Godfrey, who is kind of a lackey of the King of Tormund. Basically promised him that, he could ascend if he stopped us. And, that didn't work so well because he's just kind of not really up to snuff. So
that's ending up the act. We will go ahead and close the bid war for the sky armor color because we will be selecting that here shortly.
Yep.
And now we have a new character. Mysterious Girl, is that who she is again? I can't
Yeah.
quite remember what her name is, but
Yeah.
something like that.
It's a flashback sequence, so I don't want to go into too many of the details because I don't want to spoil the major plot points of this game
That's
other
fair.
than to briefly talk about them for people who haven't played it yet. But
there's a mysterious girl if you play this
yeah,
game. So.
and there's a couple of characters in this game who have been living for multiple generations and kind of have a destiny that's sort of intertwined with this world, and so that's our first little peek into that
It's a good description
backstory
of the
Yep.
lore, yeah.
So what also has happened here, it's 3 months later after that fight on the Aurora, which was the airship we were just in. Glenn basically set off the big bad weapon called the Grand Grimoire for the second time. And so he's kind of just dealing with the guilt of that. But then his friends show up with a bunch of sky armor and say, snap out of it, Glenn. We got to get back to work. So,
Exactly.
Yeah.
Here it is, the sky armor, and we are ready for the color choice if you have it. Let's do it.
All right, it looks like our color is, drumroll, 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 purple!
Hey,
right.
purple. So
Very
we switch
good
our color
choice.
palette. Purple is going to be Adam 01, if I'm,
Yep.
is that
That's
correct?
right, yep.
Okay. And that is a reference to, chat, give it to us if you know it. I hope somebody in chat knows it.
Get in the sky armor, Shinji.
Everybody in chat's like, what? It's late at night. What are you talking about? All right, so we got some cool purple sky armor now. Loving
Yeah.
it. Thank you so much for participating in that bid war.
Yeah.
It's the sky armor is so cool, and not only do they have a cool color, but they have an accessory, a cape.
They do have capes.
Capes make things extra cool. So next time you look at them, please check out their cool capes. There they go. Look at those capes go.
Yeah, so this is kind of like our first sky armor area, and the sky armors kind of function in the way that you're sort of used to airships working in a lot of traditional RPGs, so they can only land on flat ground. The sky armors in this game also have kind of like 2 height settings, so you can, when you're in height 1, you can kind of hover and you'll interact with enemies and other stuff like that. Height 2 allows you to actually just kind of ignore all of the terrain under you. But we do need to be on height 1 to like progress through this area because there's these caves that we have to go in. By the way, we just found the rest of our party, Sans, Killian, so we have Len and Rob back now. We'll let Ferric focus on this menu for just a second here.
All right, we're good.
Okay. But yeah, so the rest of this area is kind of a little bit of a sky armor tutorial area, but also just an opportunity to sort of flex our new sky armor here. Ferric's doing a little optimization here where you let that dialogue start and then you run back into the cave to cancel it, and then when you come back out, you don't have to do it. You actually can't board the sky armor during the dialogue, so that is a way to sort of speed things up a little bit there. These first couple sky armor fights, we're really just going to be kind of gearing up and using our best abilities here, so there's not too much to say about them. Ferric did do a swap. He swapped. So when we're in the sky armor, I'll back up for just a second. There's only 4 characters that can use the sky armor out of our party in the entire game. So it's going to be Glenn, Victor, Bathraz, and Sienna. Those are very experienced characters. Again, I don't want to go into too much like spoiler territory with that, but they're kind of like
Sky armors are complicated.
Yeah,
so.
they're the most.
That's like they're pilots.
Yeah, they're the most qualified to pilot the sky armor.
Yeah, let's not put Crest in sky armor just yet.
Who's Crest, Ferric?
We'll find out.
We'll get to it.
Stay tuned.
Yeah, but so when they're in the sky armor, they're going to kind of have different roles. So Glenn is going to be kind of like our status effect dealer. Victor is going to be kind of our healer and debuffer with like an armor break type ability. Bathraz is going to use all of the elemental magic, and then Sienna is going to be kind of like our main damage dealer, having abilities like charge that like greatly boost her damage, and then attacks with light and dark. So those all work out pretty well in terms of roles.
Try it.
Yep.
So we're looking for an item called Demon Leather here. That's a mat that we need for later in the game, actually, when Blaze is doing his part. So we're keeping our eye out for that.
Please get my demon leather, if you can. If you can.
Do my best.
Yeah, I know you are.
So if we don't get it, we can buy it at the Adventurers Guild, so it's not the end of the world. But ideally, we want to get it as a drop.
Yeah. We got a few more chances at it. There's a few more of these fights like this one.
So did you explain this as kind of like a little bit of an environmental puzzle?
Yeah, a little bit. It's kind of teaching you how to use the sky armor to get through the different areas. So, teaching you where they can land, where they don't. There's the demon leather. We're good.
Perfect.
Like here, you have to do this encounter so that you clear a bear patch, so then you can board the sky armor, and then you can come up here and fight more yetis.
Otherwise, they will wreck you if you're on foot.
Yeah. So
with their bushy eyebrows.
If it's a sky armor monster, you basically can't fight it in your outside of the sky armor. There's a definite scaling to that.
Yes. Except for that very first sky armor, the training wheel sky armor.
Yeah, that one that we fought in the Aurora for some reason, that one is not particularly strong.
It was not as tough, yeah.
Yep. But yeah, we're just kind of progressing through this area here. We have to do a lot of encounters in this area. They're all kind of the same, so.
Lots of crits.
All the crits, yeah. Thank you, Sienna.
Crit zone.
Yep. Yeah, and what's kind of happening story-wise at this point? You know, we kind of went back and, okay, there's a lot of demon leather.
Plenty of demon leather.
Calm down, game.
That's for the slingshot, right?
Yeah. But, so here's the final area. This is sort of like the tutorial boss for the
sky armor,
the sky armor.
Because Haku just can't handle that big bird on his own, so we'll help him out. We're here to help.
Yeah, Haku is this NPC.
Haku looks terrified. Poor Haku.
Yeah, so he's the NPC down here with this. He's doing his best, but he's not really qualified for this. He's our airship pilot.
He's not qualified for this.
There's kind of been a resistance that's formed up, and you know, when those other characters showed up to retrieve Glenn, it was because they want us. You know, we're all going to go and kind of join the resistance, basically. So we need to save Haku here to get the airship so that we can rejoin them.
That should be it. Oh, close. That's it.
That's fine.
So we do have to be careful here. There's 3 cutscenes to skip. If you try to skip the third one too early, you will end up in the cutscene, and that's like a minute-long cutscene. So we'll do the first 2. I'll focus. We'll not skip the third one until it's time. So 1, respect the platypus. 2, and then I literally just take my hand off the controller to make sure I don't do it.
Yeah.
Well, then I put it back on, but I didn't actually skip it. So there we go. So we're all good.
You just want to wait for the music to start playing.
Exactly.
There, yeah.
So
good deal.
All right. Let's keep rolling.
To rolling?
rolling to rolling. Exactly. I like it.
Yeah.
So see, this didn't do the skip. Oh, what happened?
You boarded the airship instead of skipping the cutscene.
Oh my gosh.
There you go.
I pushed it just a little bit too soon.
Yeah, so that's something that will happen probably every once in a while when you're doing the run.
It does happen occasionally.
The skip cutscene button does call your airship as well, so if you don't time things
I was
with
like,
your
wait, what?
inputs quite right, you will accidentally board the airship. I've done that more times than I can count. So,
as I like to say, if that's the worst thing that happens in this run, I will take it.
Yes.
So, no big deal.
Yep. So we're flying around here. There's a lot. We're kind of doing laundry list type stuff again. So Ferric is going around picking up some RAM items, and these are kind of like accessories for the sky armor. Now we're going to go pick up a little buddy of ours who's on the top of Mount Rydell. His name is Bao. Bao is a little blue man, and Bao will give us extra skill points randomly in certain abilities or in certain fights, and that'll kind of just help us get to the amount of SP that we want to by the end of the run. So definitely worth a little trip up there to go get Bao. And now we're going to go get our second class emblem because it's a little easier to go get it here with the sky armor. And this is the shaman emblem, so we'll let Ferric do this fight. It's not going to be particularly challenging.
But no slurs.
It does not have slurs.
It's just not as fun.
Yeah.
This game needs much more slurs. Or like a slurs like Mega Boss or something like that. That would be amazing.
Mega slurs?
Mega slurs, exactly.
Yeah. Just waiting on Rob to do Rob things as usual.
Yeah, exactly. This will finish him off.
Yep.
Looks good.
Yep. So we'll get that on Bethraz here. That'll kind of boost his magic stats and things of that nature. And then Ferric has one more thing to do here in Perpetua, which is he's going to fly down and flip a switch. And that won't make any sense right now because this is actually tied to one of the major quests of Act 2. We don't have that quest yet, but we're already in the neighborhood, and the game is not going to stop us from coming and flipping this switch, so we're just going to go ahead and do it right now.
Yeah, if you see a switch in an RPG, just go ahead and flip it.
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean, what's the worst that could happen?
Yep.
So now we're back in Farnsport. This is the city we were at at the beginning, and we've kind of unlocked some different areas now, so we're kind of exploring some parts that we have not seen previously.
Yep. We're kind of rounding out the roster for the rebellion here, so we're going to go and we're trying to track down Princess Amalia, who's one of the kind of major players in the world. And this NPC up here with the pompadour, I don't remember. He
keeps appearing, yeah.
Yeah, he's on our side, but his hair is a bit much. But he knows where Amalia is, so we're gonna kind of rescue him from these guards, and then he'll tell us where Amalia is.
He does have a pretty epic pompadour. That's his like distinguishing feature, epic pompadour.
Yeah. So yeah, we have to do a fight there, and then he tells us that Amalia is being held in the Fion Oasis, which is a new area.
So let's go there.
Yeah, well, let's just go there.
What do you think?
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
How about it? Done. We're there.
Yep.
Bonk. All right, so this is like a desert area that's primarily it's sky armor and ground combat. But at the very beginning here, there's some combats. But if you go to the south, you can be very sneaky and work your way all the way around like this.
Yep.
And then kind of like sneaky your way up like this. And that will actually avoid all of those intro combats and you're in the warehouse that you need to be in. So, and if you do that, it actually unlocks another ram up for your sky armor. I'm not sure if you explained what those were, but that's one that you can put on Victor, which it's not really significant, but if you're in the menus anyway, you can do it.
Yeah, it's like a healing ram, which is kind of Victor's role, so it helps out a little bit. But yeah, we're just going to fight some more guards here because there's guards here. And also that girl in the green with the adorable little dog is Amalia, and the dog is Cress. Cress is a very good boy.
Is Cress smiling? It looks like Cress is smiling to me.
Cress is always smiling. Have you ever seen a sheep? They're always smiling.
Cress is a 10 out of 10 good boy.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, if the devs are watching this, can we please get Cress some sky armor at some point?
Yeah.
I would absolutely love that.
Cress, sky armor for Cress.
Cress DLC.
So we're going to flip some more switches here in these warehouses so that we can progress because Amalia wants us to kind of save the rest of her people here that are in the Fion Oasis. We won't really use Amalia all that much in the run. Amalia is the best sort of healer that you get, but we don't really need a lot of healing in the run, so for the most part, she's going to kind of stay on the sidelines and keep Crest company. All right, Ferric's got one more switch here, and then the path forward will be open.
The music sounds interesting right now.
Pretty epic.
All right, so we'll see if we got wind shot or not.
Don't think so.
Doesn't look like it.
No. So the one downside to kind of the routing that we do now is you don't take as many sky armor fights, and as a result, you don't have as many skill points when you get here. If you get lucky,
still
and you
got
get,
him now. That's good.
If you get lucky and you get some sparkling enemies in Mount Rydell, you can still get to this point and have the abilities that you need, but it's less likely, I would say.
Yeah. But as far as the routing's concerned, it's just faster not to do those combats.
Yeah.
But you are behind on your skill points for getting some of the abilities that would make that fight go faster specifically.
Yeah, so like these sky armors here are weak to wind, but we don't have access to wind shot yet with Bethraz, unfortunately. This is a cool sneak. Good job.
Okay.
Back in the sky armor, they didn't see a thing.
They didn't see a thing. So this would be a good time for an announcement or two if we have them.
Yep.
Awesome. I have one from Xcode saying, no capes! Metalman Express Elevator, Dino Guy Snag on Takeoff, Flash Dance Suck Down onto a Vortex, no capes! I have another one from KFizzle4 saying, been bust the last couple days and haven't been able to watch much, but there are definitely a few VODs I need to go back and check out.
All right, so now we're just kind of working through some menuing because we're actually getting prepared for a big, scary boss fight that's coming up.
Yep.
So I'm
kind of like your end boss.
Yeah, very focused here. It's one of the hardest bosses in the game. So
yeah, you're good.
I want to make sure I do everything correctly. So there's that healing round that we were talking about. Okay. So we just have one more warehouse combat before we head to the boss fight. So.
Yeah. And we just got some nice weapon upgrades for several of our characters, including Sienna and the Sky Armor, so it's a good time to kind of stop and equip all that stuff.
Cress, what are you doing? Help us, please.
I like how those two NPCs kind of moonwalk out of that cutscene.
Yeah, that's kind of cool. So because we're going to a boss fight now, we can just kind of burn this Ultra because we'll get the Ultra back for the boss fight. So,
Yeah.
And Glenn's Ultra is extremely good.
Yeah. We're just waiting for Rob to go. Just the numbers are just
The numbers are very
off
high.
the charts, yeah.
We like high numbers in RPGs.
Yep. Go burr. All right, so Ferric is going to kind of come up on his final gauntlet here. There's 2 fights against a character named Mathai.
Panic attack.
You'll do just fine. The first is a Sky Armor
This guy
fight,
could be so trolly.
and then the second one is kind of on foot. The hit points that Mathai has is kind of like a big step up from any enemy to this point. First, Ferric is going to sneak past these Sky Armors. Good job. That is not easy. The Sky Armor fight is not particularly difficult here at the beginning, but then the second fight is very scary depending on how the RNG goes because he can lock abilities and things like that. So we'll let Ferric kind of get through this fight first. We do have Wind Shot now, so which is nice because this enemy is weak to wind. Throw some poison on him and then kind of just use our best physical abilities here to finish things off. And then it'll be on to the scary fight, so... Ooh, nice crit.
Crits are good. We'll take crits.
Yeah. Broke the damage cap. That was over 9999.
Was it?
Yeah.
Heck yeah. That's
We
what
can
I'm
do
talking
that.
about.
Yep.
Let's do it. So the tank fight's in very good shape right
Yeah,
now.
that went well.
That went
Glenn-
extremely well.
Glenn also got good Hornet dances. That one can hit like anywhere from like 1 to 4 times.
Do I
So
have the correct people? Victor, Bathraz, Glenn. Yes, okay.
all right, good luck, Ferric.
Thanks. Bathraz is going to... Wow, he went first.
Bathraz
Interesting.
going first is strange.
That is very strange.
Yeah, that's definitely going to throw you off a little bit. Yep. So what Ferric is going to try to do here, assuming that the boss agrees, is we're going to try to do a big attack with Rob and Bathraz's Ultra. And then hopefully that will do the trick. Ferric is also going to throw an extra item there to get the dry status on there, so he does that double damage. That was really good.
So I got a lot of damage off early. That's good. He didn't lock me out of anything right away, so
Yeah.
I'm definitely feeling this right now.
You're about 75% of the way there.
I'm definitely feeling this.
Items-
Items forbidden we can work with.
Yeah. He can lock either items, physical, or magical abilities.
We'll go and shield our characters and then just start laying the damage on them. So we will power pierce him again. So we have a shield on our characters now, so that's good.
Yep.
That's absorbing a lot of those Fists of Nova, which is a very difficult attack.
Yeah.
Dark Spear is great.
Good
That's
job.
it. Okay, I got it. Oof.
Yeah, good job.
That is a very difficult boss, so I'm very happy to make it through that. And now that I've made it through that, this is a momentous part of the run.
Yes.
It's time for you to take over.
Yay, I get to do the run.
And we also get to not do like a big mess with our like headphones and stuff here too. So
Yep.
I'm gonna pop mine off.
This cutscene didn't skip. I'm not sure what happened, so
Oh,
I'll
that's
just
weird.
kind
Just
of...
hold down, yeah. All right, I got it.
I don't know this cutscene. I hope it's not that long.
Well, we'll see what happens. Let me
Okay.
Just go ahead. That's fine. It's
Okay.
it's over your controller. So if you have a,
I'll fix it during this
You can
cutscene.
kind of roll it under.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. So this is the second half of the run. Chained Echoes. If you're still with us at 12:30 Mountain Time.
Is that all?
That's all. Yeah.
Not that late.
Sleep is for the weak. So I'm gonna drink a little bit of water. So.
Yeah.
Real quick, we have a $100 donation from
Hey.
Anonymous. Looks like this donation is going towards the Super Mario RPG remake, any percent incentive for Fight 3D QLEX.
Nice.
Thank you so much for that. We appreciate that.
All right, so I am going to get going on my stuff here. And again, good job, Ferric. First thing I need to do
appreciate it, yeah.
is I want to shout out my friend Tack the Yak. Tack was integral in my glitch run last year at RPG Limit Break. He will not be joining us for this run, but we'll give him a little wave as we go by there.
Whoa, that time is very good for turtle races and switching the Skyrim colors too.
Oh, your run was very good.
We're on a very good pace right now, so
Yep.
I'm very excited about that.
Doing my best to keep it up here. but
Absolutely, yeah.
Yep, I'm going to be doing a little bit of just kind of stuff here, miscellaneous stuff to advance the quests. So there's kind of an interesting thing that happens after you finish the Fion Oasis area. Ferric, do you want to kind of talk about what we're going to be doing for the next like 20 minutes or so?
The next 20 minutes or so, like the flipping the gates of Nissa?
Yeah,
or?
I just have to do these kind of like 2 random, they call them side quests, but they're not really side quests.
So Nissa is basically like this underground city that is the end game in Chained Echoes, and to access that city, we have to open 3 gates. So you have to flip 3 switches to do that. We have to traverse a lot of kind of the underworld and the overland to accomplish that. So basically, yeah, I don't know why they're called side quests, because they're pretty much required to get to the end of the game. But yeah, you have to do these pieces of the puzzle to flip these gates to go ahead and get to that end game area. So this is an underground area right now. We're going to fight some goblins, and then we're also in this area going to get a very powerful belt for Rob, and I'll describe that when we get to it.
Yep. I just want to say as well, thank you to everybody who's donated so far. Especially the first part of this run is very intense, and we had a lot of stuff to talk about. That will not necessarily be the case for all of the parts of the second half of the run. So I know that there's been a lot of stuff that's been coming in, and we've been doing our best to kind of keep up with everything. But we really do appreciate all of that, so thank you.
Yeah, thanks so much for the donations. Great cause, NAMI, which is a fantastic charity, and very proud to be a part of this marathon, raising just, it's thousands of dollars. I'm looking at the tracker right now for this charity. It's just fantastic. So keep the donations coming in. Yeah, we were a little bit top loaded on the first half with information, but now that everybody knows how to play the game and knows all the lore, we don't have to talk as much, and I can just do puns and things like that. So.
Gosh, yeah.
So coming up on a big beast here. He looks very tough, a lot of hit points. This one is going to be a tough one for sure, so good luck.
Thank you. I'm just going to give him this berry that I found. He looks hungry.
Oh,
okay.
Oh, 88,000?
I think he was allergic to that.
That's a bad berry. That's a little bit of indigestion there.
Yeah.
So. Definitely did the trick, though. So he's basically just a blocker to this area. That makes you talk to that character, so you get the berry.
Yeah.
Kind of go in some murky water here because it's basically a teleporter. And then out of this chest, we are going to get the Earth Belt. The Earth Belt is critical to this run. We're going to equip the Earth Belt on Rob. We've been talking a little bit about Rob, haven't we? How he deals so much damage.
Yeah.
So with he has an ability called Water Attack that uses the dry debuff to deal 2x damage. When the Earth Belt is on, the Earth Belt uses a debuff called Heavy. So Bethraz can actually generate Heavy on enemies. So we put the Earth Belt on Rob, and he gets a multiplier from that. So he gets 2x from his Water Attack. He gets an additional 2x from the Earth Belt, so that's 4x. Plus he gets the attack up from the emblem, plus he gets attack up from a stat up. So he just becomes a monster. He is absolutely carries us through to the end of the game, and you'll see some of the big numbers here soon.
Yep. Yeah, we have all the pieces we need now to really just kind of maximize Rob here. We don't have to fight anything still for a little bit, so I'm going to just be running out. The third switch is out here in the Fjord Woods outside of Tormund. So do we have an announcement or two that we can read while I'm running down here to the switch?
Well, Oasis says donated $25 to say, I'm glad that I at least got to see part of this run. Keep up the good work, boys. No matter what happens, I'm proud of both of you. And then there's a little cute little heart at the end of that. Also saying, hashtag Pushy the Orb.
So we're talking about, we're getting up, we're closing in on Pushy the Orb. Pushy the Orb, very exciting portion of the run. Thanks so much for that, Oasis. Technically, if the stream is up, even if you're in bed sleeping, it still counts. So I've never done that before, fallen asleep with a stream.
No.
So.
We have time for one more.
we have yet to even talk about what we're even donating for. So this is for NAMI, or the National Alliance on Mental Illness. It's the nation's largest grassroots mental health organization. NAMI provides advocacy, education, support, and public awareness to improve the lives of all individuals and families affected by mental illness. NAMI exists to ensure that no one is alone in their mental health journey. Please donate to support this cause. I really love seeing numbers go up on the screen. I would love to see more.
Same.
Any RPG players know all about numbers go up, so it's numbers go up for a cause here.
Yep. Okay, so we're finishing one of the 2 quests that we need to finish to get to the end of Act 2. This is the Gates of Nissa quest. Kind of sort of clues us into a little bit more of like what's going on with the big picture of the story. The gates are down right now, though. We'll be back later.
Yeah.
But for now, we should probably go do that other quest.
For now, we're just
guess.
taking a
Yeah,
picture.
So.
Take a picture and, put it in our pocket, and we'll be back later. So.
Yep. All right, so now I'm going to head back to Farnsport, because the other character that we need to
Magnolia.
meet up with is
Madeline.
Madeline and Magnolia.
No, it's Madeline.
Yeah, we discussed this
Does she have
earlier.
the cool glasses or not?
Yeah, the glasses, the cool
Or
glasses is
Magnolia.
Madeline, the cool hat is Magnolia.
Okay. No, they both have cool hats.
They do both have cool hats, that's true.
One has cool hat and cool glasses, but they both have cool hats. So I think this is Madeline. Let's
No,
find
this
out.
is Magnolia.
This is Magnolia.
Because there's no glasses.
There's no glasses. It's Magnolia.
Yeah.
So.
She's a witch.
Oh no.
It's okay. She's a nice witch.
She's a nice witch with a cool hat.
Yeah.
Boink.
Yep.
Boink.
And this is kind of where we get, there's a little bit of backstory stuff going on here. I won't go into it too much, but there's this whole thing out in the world called the Maelstrom.
Mm-hmm.
And Magnolia knows about it. She finds out that Glenn has also kind of seen it, and that's kind of a big deal. So she's going to ask us to help. We're going to go inside this dude's mind.
This dude.
Yeah.
Generic NPC dude.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is basically an environmental puzzle. You're running through this dude's mind, picking up pieces. There's a beach.
Nope, that's later.
Oh, there it is. Okay, there's a house. I don't know. There's pieces to pick up. Excuse me. They're like tiles, and the touchy the orb. This is touchy the orb. So when you touchy the orb, you can either pick up a piece or drop a piece, and then you're using the tiles to connect these different islands like a puzzle.
Yep.
And then once you have all the pathing done correctly, you can exit. So this is kind of the intro to how this works. And then a little bit later, about 30 more minutes or so, there's a much more complex version of this that Blaze will have to do that requires a lot of attention.
Yeah, this is kind of like the quiz, and then later on we're going to get like the final exam.
The final exam,
Yeah,
exactly.
and that happens with a lot of the environmental puzzles in this half of the run. So.
And there's just chests in here. If you want to grab items out of this guy's mind, sure, why not?
Yeah.
You actually, whatever you get, you can just carry into the world. I don't know. I don't think about it too hard.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
It's just RPG things.
Who's
sure.
ever whomst among us has not ever run around in somebody's mind
And taken
RPG?
objects out.
Yes, and yeah, exactly.
Taking objects. So yeah, we're just assembling the puzzle pieces right now to get the routing correct so that we can exit.
Yeah.
Blaze is doing this very efficiently and effectively. It's impressive.
Thank you. Yeah, I have to kind of backtrack here, gather up the pieces that I need, and then now I've got everything I need to finish things up. You have to kind of combo these two to get to the exit, so that's sort of like the little trick here. They connected. Oh my goodness.
So we're going to see the portal here. That'll take us back to the infirmary or whatever that area is called. I'm not sure.
Yeah, Magnolia's place.
Yeah, Magnolia's place. That's where Magnolia's doing Magnolia things. Exactly.
Yep, so we're just going to go ahead and finish this up. Again, this is where we're going to kind of learn a little bit more about like the deep universe lore. This is the Maelstrom here, so.
Again, unskippable, so we kind of just turbo through all the dialogue.
Yep.
Which is really nice. It saves a lot of arthritis on the thumb having to smash that, so.
Yep. All right, there's one thing I forgot to do earlier, so I'm going to go ahead and do that right now.
So we did get an item called Rusty Sword. We don't use that in this run, but there's kind of Ultima weapons that you can get in this game, and I believe that's the precursor to one of the Ultima weapons.
Yep.
So back on the airship. So now we're in New Windshire. We're going to be here very briefly. got some very dope music, like it a lot. It's got some chickens, also like the chickens. Chickens are collidable, so you have to avoid the chickens, otherwise you will bonk on them and it will slow you down.
I like the little platypus babies.
The platypus babies are also very cute.
Yeah, there's like a whole pack of them that runs by there, and that's how I know that's the street I have to turn down.
The church, yeah.
They're helping.
So don't blink because you will miss New Windshire. We're only going to be here for about another 15 seconds.
Yep.
So now we're just in the throne room. The queen is there and her loyal duck attendant.
I think it's like a puffin. I don't know.
He is cute. He looks like he's stressed. He's more stressed than Crest for sure, but
yeah.
I don't know. A duck companion could be worse. Ducks are pretty cool.
Well, he's going to betray us in a second, so don't get too attached.
Gosh. What a rude duck. He must
Yeah.
be like a Canadian goose or something.
Wow.
The worst of the ducks.
Just like slighted an entire species
Exactly.
there.
The worst of the ducks. I said it here at RPG Limit Break. Canadian ducks, take notice. All right, so we've got some more Sky Armor fights here in our cool Sky Armor. This particular fight, not too much to really note, although we are gradually acquiring new abilities. So we're keeping an eye on those power-ups that our Sky Armors are getting to make these more efficient and to make them go faster.
Yep.
I just noticed that the enemy Sky Armors also get capes, so that must be like standard issue. Everybody gets a cape.
You get a cape.
You get a Sky Armor,
get a cape.
you get a cape. Everybody look under your chair. Is there a cape? Everybody gets a cape, so... So now we have to fight a monster called a Baki. Bakis are tricky. If you get them into a certain damage range, they do an ability called Counter Stance if you attack them again. Counter Stance is a very slow animation, and it also hits all of your characters. So you have the option of either not attacking them when the Counter Stance is up, attacking them for lethal damage, or you can do like an AoE because that will not trigger the Counter Stance. Otherwise, yeah, when you're learning this run, like you can just die to Counter Stance. But if you know the run well, if you actually trigger a Counter Stance, it's just going to cost you time. The animation is very slow.
I think this, hopefully, yeah.
So that was enough damage to kill it, so we were safe
Yep.
there. Thank you, Sienna, for dealing a lot of damage.
Sienna's very good. And now we're coming up on a couple of NPCs that are very important to the story, but we're not really going to interact with them that much. And this is basically just a story fight. We can't win it, and all they're going to do is kind of sit here and taunt us. So this would be a great time for a couple of announcements.
Yeah, I'm going to interact with my water bottle during this one.
Blah, blah, blah. Some marketing speech here about how great we are. Honestly, who cares? Yes, we publish games, and you should only care for the games. Enjoy our games, wishlist them, and support cool indies. Take a look at Drova, Spindle, Elements Destiny, Chained Echoes,
Hey,
and
that's
Crosscode. I don't know, maybe you've heard of one of those games? I don't know. This sponsorship blurb brought to you by Deck 13.
Yes. Thank you very much for believing in Matthias Linda and publishing this game. It is amazing. This game is
Yeah, we love this game.
legitimately changed my life in a lot of ways, and it's just a wonderful, wonderful game. Everybody, if you love classic RPGs, you should definitely play this game. And I'm not just saying that because we read a sponsor blurb just now.
Yeah, it just reminded us of what we already knew. So
I am not a paid spokesperson.
exactly. Yeah, one of the fun things about this game too is that we get to do this as a co-op run, and we got to work on the run together and work on the routing and all the ins and outs of everything. And so it's just been a really fun activity to do together as well.
Yep. Yeah, strongly recommend if you and your partner are both speedrunners to try playing a game together sometime.
Yeah. If it wasn't obvious, we are together. We are partners. So yeah. Partners in crime, as I like to say. Yeah, Blaze started playing this when I was I mentioned during the interview, but I was kind of heavy into a lot of tactical RPGs like Triangle Strategy, Diofield Chronicle, Tactics Ogre. That was like all 2022, if I remember correctly. And Blaze just kind of kept playing this. He's like, Ferric, I think that you would like this game. And I saw him playing it enough. I finally came around to it. So for those of you out there that like to speedrun things, just play those games a lot in front of your significant other, and you can recruit them to play them with you.
And keep talking about them.
Yeah, just keep talking about how awesome they are.
Yeah.
I don't know about be annoying. Maybe just a little bit of be annoying. So.
Be lovably annoying.
Lovably annoying, exactly. So we're coming up on another Baki fight here. Hopefully Sienna has an AoE attack right now, which makes it go pretty slick. We will see if she's leveled up enough.
Yeah, we'll see how much we've been getting in terms of skill points. Okay, she does not have it, which is fine.
It just slows us down a little bit.
Yeah, so this fight will be a little bit slower as a result, but it is what it is. We'll kind of just take them one at a time here. I will be able to finish him off with a leg sweep, so I can move on to the next one here.
And leg sweep would be safe anyway because it's an AoE. So, yep. Very nice.
Yeah, Sienna's got the big numbers.
Sienna's our go-to for damage for sure.
I go ahead and charge again. Oh, they're both in counter stance. Okay.
Ooh, almost took out Sienna. No
Yeah.
good. No bueno. We don't like that.
We're okay.
We're okay. Sienna's okay. 20 is just as good as her max.
Okay. So we got through that. That was a little scary.
That was a little scary.
All right. So this is actually the final boss of Act 2 coming up here.
Yeah, it's kind of a two-part boss. It's Sturm und Drang. That's my best. Did that sound German? Sturm und Drang.
Pretty German,
Which
yes.
means storm and stress. And not too bad of a fight. There's a couple different strats for it. You need to take out one of these guys because they do like a combo attack that can just wreck you. So as long as one of them goes down, it's not too bad.
Yeah.
So I'll let Blaze kind of focus here. We tried to do some, like, I guess I heard Puexel use a word called micro-optimizations. We tried to kind of do some micro-optimizations of this, but I tend to just go with the strats where I just like can confidently take out one and then confidently take out the other, and it's pretty fast.
Yep. Start working on the green one, and I'll let Rob take out the blue one.
Is that Sturm or Drang?
That is a good question.
Sturm.
Okay.
He used Sturm Wind. I think the dev for this game is German, so
yes,
that would make perfect sense. There's a lot of German language and German references in the characters and some of the abilities.
All right, we should be good here.
All right.
All right.
Polished him off, and there's some lone figure back there. So
that's Lenny's brother.
Lenny's brother,
who is very, very not.
Is that
nice.
Frederick?
Yes, his name is Frederick.
Yeah.
Frederick, the very not nice brother.
Yeah, Frederick is not nice.
Yep. All right, so that is the end of Act 2.
Oh, look what we got here. Push the orb. Let's see those orbs in chat. Respect the orb. So we have little girl.
No, respect the platypus.
Yeah, respect the platypus. Respect the orb.
Yeah.
So I have the little girl doing push of the orb. You basically move the orb onto the yellow tile. Gray blocks are destructible, green blocks are not, so you have to do things in such a sequence as to use that to your advantage, and then the orbs also can block each other. That's the basics to it. If you have to reset, you can hit the blue tile kind of down there in the corner, and that will reset everything. These are fixed. They are not generated, so once you've learned and memorized the puzzles, you do not have to think on the fly to do them, which would just be a nightmare. And I don't think I could do this run if that was the case.
Yeah, I might.
My brain might break.
I might retire from Chained Echo speedrunning if that ever happens.
If they were procedurally generated, that would just be too much for my brain.
Yeah. And we are going to be in kind of like a long, unskippable cutscene here. So, Deeds, if you have anything else you want to read, this would be a good time.
Sweet. I want to show some love for our community artists. So we have LLK, who designed the RPG Limit Break logo, which you can get a lot of cool merchandise in our store with that amazing logo. And also Mega Weasel and Eats Casa, who are responsible for designing several of the emotes, and which you can access by subscribing to RPG Limit Break's channel. All revenue from subscriptions, bits, and the ads that we run contribute to funding our annual marathons, and your support in this regards is critical to helping us put on these wonderful events year after year.
Awesome, thank you. Yeah, I always love the badges when I come to RPG Limit Break, in particular. Really cool art on those, and always find some fun characters from the games that we're all playing. So, all right, so we're off to Shambhala here, Ferric.
Yes, Shambhala is a flying group of islands. There's kind of like a primary island that has a city on it where there's some bird people. And then there's kind of some islands that float around it, and then there's some islands that are connected to it by chains, and that's all going to come into play very soon here. Doing some quick level ups before we make it to the city, and then we will be picking up another party member. His name is Eggle. He's a favorite party member of mine. He's actually kind of like a paladin class, but he has an ability that's called Wind Gust that is extremely useful. So what we've been doing so far is we have been using Victor to do Basso Profundo to put the dry effect on monsters. And so once we get Eggle will be able to do that, so we can optimize our party even further to maximize Rob's damage. And we can go into that a little bit more when we get Eggle into our party. But for now, we're fighting some Tucaburis. They're like big toucans with big fists. They want to just come punch you. It's a little bit of a slower fight than it should seem, but it's because we're kind of like a little bit underleveled with our weapons right here. When we get to the next city, we will be able to kind of like boost our weapons, boost our damage output. Every time I do this combat, I feel like, did I do something wrong? Because it seems like it's going slow, but that's just the nature of where we're at in the game.
Yep.
And now you can see one of these islands sliding by. We hop on them, and then you can see the exit to the west there, so we can choose which island we want to exit on. And we just jump off and run. Exactly. So there's our first glimpse of Eggle. We did a little skip there.
Yep. I have a little confession to make, Ferric.
Please.
So this zone is inspired by an area of Chrono Trigger. I don't remember exactly which one it is. But my confession is I never finished Chrono Trigger until after I finished Chained Echoes.
Oh, wow. That is quite the confession.
I was very disappointed in myself that I had given up on Chrono Trigger at a couple times in the past. So I just think that sometimes you have games that don't agree with you at one particular point in time in your life, and make sure that when you get an opportunity or when you're feeling inspired, go back and give them another chance, because they really are. They're good games, and they definitely deserve your love and attention. So
it's a really good thought. So this is the Eggle fight here. There's one kind of rude thing he could do. It's pretty rare, so hopefully that won't happen. Otherwise, it's a relatively straightforward fight.
Yeah, as long as I can get enough damage on him early, it won't be a problem. So
okay, that looks pretty good. He's got a big sword called a gun spear.
Yeah, where have we seen those in RPGs before?
Yeah, exactly. So loading up here, Rob's doing his power attack, and Bathraz is doing the big gun. And Eggle's down, but not out, because he actually wants to join us. So thanks, Eggle.
Yep. Eagle or Eggle? I
like Eggle, E-G-Y-L. I think if it was Eagle, it would be E-A-G-Y-L.
Okay.
Chat, any thoughts? I think that I've always just said Eggle, so.
He also can't fly. Did you mention that?
I don't think I did.
Poor Eggle.
It looks like he's got a little jetpack on his back, though. Maybe that's how he gets around. So this is the main city on Shambhala. It's pretty menu intensive. We're buying a lot of items for upgrading weapons. Excuse me. Upgrading weapons. We're buying mats for crafting. We're buying some armor. And then now that Eggle's in our party, we have to get in the menus and get him all leveled up, because he's got a ton of skill points to spend. A little bit of time in the reward board here to get skill points and to, again, unlock the mats that we need for upgrades.
Yep.
So whenever you see an anvil, anvils are just where we do upgrades. Plus is the highest level. Slingshot that you get here for Rob is actually the end game weapon for us. It deals enough damage that we take that right through to the end without having to pick up a more powerful weapon. And that was also our first socketing of the game. Back when I did the blacksmith tutorial, you saw that there were gems that you could put into weapons to give them added abilities. I did pick up 2 light crystals for Blaze. He threw them in the slingshot. There are a couple bosses later in the game that are weak to light, so that will give some additional damage. I don't remember exactly the amount. It's somewhere between 10 and 30%.
Oh boy, that is not what I wanted to do, and I'm a little nervous now.
That's okay. So we'll give Blaze a chance to kind of get everybody resituated here in terms of equipment.
I think I'm okay. Yep, and then I'm going to just learn a bunch of skills on Eggle here.
Yep. So yeah, so that wind gust is the one I was telling you about that is going to put the dry effect on things. So now Eggle can do dry, Bethraz can do heavy, Victor can do the Poetic March, and then on the second turn after Rob is charged, he can attack with an AoE attack, so he gets 2 debuffs. 2 debuffs on the monster for 4x. He gets the Poetic March buff, which is, I think, like 15 to 20%, plus his attack up bonuses. So he's in endgame mode right now. Ridiculous amounts of damage.
This is about as good as it's going to get for the rest of the run here. And we got a ways to go still, so.
You bet. Picking up collectibles, don't really need them anymore for the second half of the game. That was more a first half of the game thing. We do have a turtle up here. Turtle can be rude because he puts a shell on, but depending on how everybody sequences, we can take it off and then we can one-shot him.
Yeah, this will be fine. I need Lenny here. Help me, Lenny.
So this is the one time Lenny gets to do her cleanse. Cleanse takes all of the turtle's buffs off, and then we just one-shot him with Rob, and he's done. Very nice.
Yep.
He can be a little bit trolly. Again, he's not really dangerous, but he can slow you down if he does those. If he does his shell at the wrong time, he can slow you down.
Yep.
So again, kind of a puzzly level. It's, you know, when you're learning this, it takes some time. You have to know which islands to get on, when to get off, how to like move amongst the different islands. But we've got it down.
Yep.
And yeah, Eggle can't fly, so he has to take the islands.
Or Eggle.
Or Eggle.
He has to take the islands just like everybody else. All his friends are just flying around.
Island taxi.
Yep. Yeah, we're just kind of floating around here. We got a little bit of work to do to get to the next spot.
So you're getting a glimpse here of like a ruined temple. This is sort of a glimpse of what we're going to be spending a lot of time in shortly. But for now, we're just kind of zipping through it. This isn't the bulk of the temple area.
And this is the one time I do not want to get off at the first junction, so I have to kind of be patient and wait here and take my hand off the controller, and now we're good.
Yeah, and of course, we've both done it before. You get off there and just, oh my gosh, it's just minutes to get back to where you want to go. And it's basically because you're just waiting and you're like thinking about, oh, you know, maybe I'll have like a corn dog for dinner or something. When you really need to be kind of paying attention to, you know, where you're supposed to get off.
You're thinking about corn dogs at a time like this?
But corn dogs matter too. Corn dogs matter.
Right.
So, all right, so here you get your first glimpse of the chain. Cutting that chain is going to release that little island that you saw it attached to. So now that island is in the rotation. So you watch the islands go by, and if you want to get to a specific spot, you can hop on that island. So it's kind of a cool mechanic. Up here, we've got 2 big turtles. They're not too tough to avoid going in, but you do have to sneak around them coming out. So Blaze is going to execute some pretty precise movement tech to do that.
Yeah. Did you mention why we're not just flying around on our Sky Armor right now? Because I feel like Sky Armor would be really good here. What do you think?
We're so slow on foot. It's because it's so scenic. We want to see the hippos. We want to see the flamingos. No, it's actually because there's like anti-Sky Armor like gun batteries on Shambhala that Godfrey has put in place to protect his research lab. So we have to, you know, clip those chains to release the islands so that we can deactivate these anti-Sky Armor batteries. And then once those 2 are down, then we can hop in our Sky Armor and get to the research lab to meet up with Godfrey again. We saw him before in the Sky Armor battle that I did towards the end of the first half, but he is back with a hot vengeance.
Yes.
You will see just how hot when we get there.
Got another set of the birds here, but we have the good weapons now, so this will go
these
a
are
lot
exactly
more
the same as the 2 Kabiris we fought before, but now that we've got the good weapons, you're going to notice that this goes much more efficiently.
Just waiting for Rob to get his next turn.
Done.
I love that they just have like comically oversized fists, by the way.
Yeah, they go punch like that.
Great little touch.
Nice touch.
Yeah.
Oh, you got it. Good job. That one's
good.
hard to get. Yeah. Yeah, that one can be tricky to snag, but if you do really crisp movement through that area, you can get it. I don't think I've ever got it personally, so that's very nice.
It depends on what turn order you get in the fight too, because these things are just all on a little.
Because you just went.
They're all
zoop.
cycling even while you're in the battle.
Yeah,
so.
that was really good.
Yeah, thank you. I will take a little bit of credit for that.
Feels good when it happens. Yeah, is what I'll say.
Always, never expected, always appreciated.
Yeah, perfect. Yep, feels good.
All right, and yep, we're headed over to unlock another
Monkey Island.
Yep. Another.
There's maybe a reference
island
there.
here.
Monkey Island.
There's just monkeys.
Oh, okay.
They're rude little monkeys. I don't think it's a Monkey Island reference, but
there's monkeys there.
Yeah, there are monkeys, and it is an island.
It's
so
definitely not.
possible.
It's definitely not Tukaburi Island.
No.
So yeah, the monkeys can do. Yeah.
They didn't do the thing.
Hopefully the monkeys don't do the thing because the thing is kind of gross. So.
Yeah. They're rude little monkeys.
They're very rude little monkeys.
Yeah.
Those ones are done for, but we'll have to fight some more monkeys, so we'll see.
Yep. And we're just going to go down here, unlock this next Sky Island, and then we'll be running back and floating around on it. So if we have any more announcements, we got a minute or two here.
You know what? Since you specifically called out our badge art after my last blurb, I just want to give a final shout out to LLK. She's a long-time contributor for our badges, our promo banners, and again, the emotes in our chat. If you subscribe. Just helps out and she also helps out the GDQ marathons. Check out her work at jazzaboo.com. That is JAZAABOO.com. Again, JAZAABOO.com.
All right, we're almost done riding around on little Sky Armor Islands here. This is the last one that we'll be taking a trip on, and then once we get to the end of this one, we'll get the second battery taken care of, and we'll be able to unlock our Sky Armor. Now, when I come around here, I'm going to check this crystal because I have time, so we'll see what I get. A little bit of crystal lottery here. Nothing. Okay. Nothing twice, so I don't want to accidentally miss my bus.
Yeah, your bus, yeah, your taxi.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's very specific items there that if we get them, they will just increase the power of our weapons. But yeah, it's just kind of a freebie check because we're waiting for the island anyway. So like, why not amuse ourselves? It's kind of like pulling out your phone. So just pull out your phone, take a look at it. So yeah, so we always check that. Stuff like an amulet buff, like. I don't even know if you'd use a bow buff because you have the light, but yeah, you'd probably use a bow buff. But
That's true.
There's some weapon buffs that you could consider using.
You would mainly be looking for something you could put on Bathraz, so like magic or
magic would be
very
good.
Like that. Yep.
But you're mostly doing it because you're bored. So
yeah.
All right, so here's a bunch of monkeys, a whole pack of monkeys. There's 5 of them. Hopefully they won't be gross.
Oh well. They weren't
monkeys.
They weren't just monkey things.
Monkeys, please.
Yeah.
Monkeys, plocks. All right. That's for being gross.
It's for being naughty little monkeys.
For being naughty monkeys, exactly. So we got the last switch down here, and then once we flip it, we can immediately jump in our Sky Armor and go do Sky Armor things. Eagle does flap his wings when he goes down.
Yeah, he's kind of like keeping his balance, I think. All right, so now we've turned off the second gun. We can just kind of fly up here. It lets us do that. And yeah, we'll be hitting up the research lab, which will definitely look like other research labs that you may be familiar with.
Yes, exactly. Maybe you've played an RPG before that has an evil research lab in it.
I did that. I thought there was going to be a second cutscene there, so I accidentally boarded my airship. Oh, well.
You just hop back in the Sky Armor and go right up.
It's true.
Go right back up there, so you're just fine. So yeah, so it's a creepy research lab. We've definitely seen those before. I've definitely done that before.
I know. I do that all the time, actually.
If you jump too fast on the cutscene skipper is the same as summoning the airship, and then it will put you in the airship, and then you have to get back onto the continent. So, but yeah, and we will see. Yeah, you're good.
I was making sure I was on the right.
You're like, where am I going?
I've
never seen this part of the game before. So this is Godfrey again. We beat him in his Sky Armor before. He didn't get enough of us, so we'll just have to beat him again. But we affectionately call him Flaming Hot Godfrey, and you will see why here in a moment.
He's on fire.
Because he's a Cheeto. No, because he's on fire.
He might be a Cheeto.
Brought to you by Cheetos, exactly. So, no, there's no sponsorship here.
I got the good turn order here, too, so this should be a pretty straightforward fight.
Yep, good turn order's good. We're going to max out Rob. You don't have to attack the fists. You can just go straight for Godfrey's body, and if you get the good roll, you will actually just one-shot him.
Yeah. The good turn order is Glenn gets 2 turns.
7,000, that's massive, so that was really good.
Yeah.
So he's done, yeah.
The good turn order is when Glenn gets 2 turns before Rob gets his second turn, because then you can armor break and bring Eggle in to do Wind Gust as well. So.
Yep. You want him to go nice and slow, so you can kind of slow roll that. Well done.
Thank you. Sorry about the extra little tour of Shambhala.
Yeah, we just got a little extra tour.
Yep. We're not done here yet.
Who doesn't like Shambhala? So
it's true.
It's got cool music too. I've never really listened to the Shambhala music before.
Yeah, it's great.
It's like a lute or something.
Yep. All right, so now we're going to be heading to the Empyrean Ruins, which is the next area of the Shambhala area. There's a, I guess there's a teleporter that opened up now. I don't know
sure,
why,
a teleporter.
yeah,
I mean,
we'll just go.
It's an RPG.
We'll go jump in the teleporter.
There's teleporters.
Yep.
This area is kind of tricky because there's some cutscene trickery that if you're not careful, you can soft lock the game. So we are very aware of when we're skipping cutscenes here.
Yep.
You can soft lock it. I've actually tried to skip a cutscene. It turned all my characters invisible. And I'm not talking about like RPG, like cool, they're invisible and like nobody can attack them. No, it's like the sprites like turned invisible and I could not see them on the screen even though like the screen was moving. So that was very strange. So yeah, in my notes, like be careful here because you don't want that to happen again.
Yeah. There's that's probably just a really quick mention. So the most recent patch to this game did kind of change how the cutscene skipping worked precisely because of stuff like that. So we do actually play on a slightly older patch for this run. It's not really, I mean, it's a glitchless run. Like there's no reason we have to play on a down patch, but basically the cutscene skipping mechanics that we're more accustomed to, they're kind of present in this version, and in the current patch they're not. But like anything that we're doing in this run, you can do on the current patch or on the console versions or whatever.
Correct.
So just the cutscene skipping will function a little bit differently if you don't down patch.
Very nice.
I did do those attack ups earlier because we did that in practice,
that's
and that
a really
seemed like a good idea.
Yeah, we practiced this earlier today, and we were still making minor adjustments. So we just can't help ourselves.
Yeah, little tweaks.
The little tweaks, and it worked out really nicely.
It's really annoying when Rob doesn't kill things.
Yeah, we want Rob to be killing everything. Don't leave anything behind, Rob.
Yep.
But Thraz just gets annoyed when he has to go in and like swing his sword again.
Yeah.
So here's a sparkle. That one might not go, but we'll see.
Oh, they're the same. They just drop different stuff. But yeah, we'll see. We'll blame it on him being a sparkle if it doesn't go down here. Yeah, for whatever reason, these blue ones. Oh, bye with Thraz. That's fine.
Thraz doing a flat.
Yep. But yeah, for some reason, those blue ones are extra like resistant.
Extra beefy.
Yeah.
Extra armor.
Yeah, but we got to work around for that now.
So what we're doing right now is there's the temple that's in the center, and then there's two sides. We have to just step on tiles to unlock the gate to get to the central area. So that was the first side, and now we're going to wander off to the second side. This was more environmental puzzle. The second side has got like totem puzzles, which I'll explain. But for now, we're just kind of cleaning up. Gotta washy the party after all that adventuring. So now we're off to the other side. So totem puzzles, they have on-off for the gates. You flip their arms, gates go up and down, and this is the most basic. It will just drop the gate and raise the other gate. But you'll see as we get into it, there's additional colors, and then you have to lower gates to raise to get in areas where other totems are. So it gets a little bit tricky as you work your way into it.
Yeah. And I believe this puzzle is inspired by a different game. I just don't remember what game it is. So
that's
I apologize.
Cool. Yeah, if anybody in chat knows, please throw it in there.
Yeah, tell your friends.
But it is a really it's a progressive puzzle. So once you kind of learn the basics, the puzzles, this particular totem puzzle does just get more complex as you work through it. So I do appreciate the kind of like gradation of how they do a lot of the puzzles in this game. Mm-hmm. They don't just throw you in the deep end with like a really complex puzzle and not guide you through how to do it.
Yep.
So we did have to kill those. We can't sneak past them. There is a Sky Armor upgrade for Bathraz up here, so we'll just go grab that and then keep moving forward.
Yeah, this area has a lot of really nice Sky Armor upgrades. We're going to kind of go out of our way to pick up a bunch of those because otherwise we really won't be able to keep pace with the Sky Armor enemies that are coming up here shortly. So. All right, so
that's a triple flip, and then we can get through.
Yep.
Hit our switch, and then we should be able to move through.
Yep. And then there's another Pushy the Orb.
Oh, I love Pushy the Orb.
Pushy the Orb number 2.
Pushy the Orb is my favorite.
Aren't you just like unhappy that I get to do all the Pushy the Orb puzzles?
I clearly chose the wrong half of the game because all I want to do in this game is just Pushy the Orb all day long. So.
Yeah. Well, my half of the run.
Yeah, that's your half exactly. It's my half. My Pushy.
Yeah, these are fun puzzles. It was fun to kind of figure these out organically myself when I played the game casually, and then you just write them down so you don't ever have to think about it again.
Because it makes your brain hurt. Like the longer ones are hard.
Yep.
So in this area, there's some areas where you can board sky armor, areas where you have to be on foot. So there'll be kind of a lot of up and down. You have to go down to go through the caves, and you'll kind of see how it works.
Yeah, the sky armors also just kind of move faster than when you're running. So
they move so much faster.
When you want to be in the sky armor.
So a couple more big gray chests that have our sky armor upgrades that we need. Third one is close to some Dargons, so we need to make sure that we don't disturb them because just let them be in peace. So sneak around them there, perfect, very nice movement, and then we just exit this area here.
Just a reminder, you can't get in your sky armor because it's tall grass. Yes, we know.
Now we can get in our sky armor.
Yep. Someone mowed the lawn. We can get into the sky armor.
Someone mowed the lawn, exactly. One of those dragons mowed the lawn.
Thanks, dragons. All right. I need to do a menu here to equip some of that stuff I was just grabbing. I'm going to hold off on the ram for now because I'm not sure if I've got what I need yet, so I'll figure that out in this next battle.
Yeah, one of the rams is a SP up ram, which is going to increase the rate at which you get SP, so we need to have that on specific people at specific times to acquire the abilities, especially for the boss fights.
Yep.
So the SP ram is really
that's good.
That's nice. The SP ram is really the critical ram. The other ones are nice, but they aren't as important, I would say.
Yep. So Sienna can do AoEs now. That's not very nice. I'm hopeful Sienna's going to get her turn here, but she did get paralyzed. Okay, we're good. Thank you.
So paralyzed does not always proc, which is nice. If it does, it can really set you back.
Yep. Almost done here. Okay,
nice.
And then I'll go ahead and swap those rams because I know
Good
Sienna's
fight.
learned all of her abilities.
Exactly.
So. And we'll put an attacker ram on Sienna so she'll do even more damage. Sorry, I put the water down there.
No, I got it. Just making sure the cap's on.
Yeah.
Since I kicked it over. All right.
All right. Back to the fights.
Back to collecting items and fighting things.
Yep.
A hammer and shield. That is a victor item. And
First,
then,
we're gonna fight some Dargons.
Yeah, let's fight some Dargons, some flame-breathing Dargons. We're hoping that we get Enact Salvo soon. Enact Salvo is a Glen ability that will basically require anything that's hit with it to skip a turn. It is very OP. It is absolutely critical to our boss strats in the second half of the run. We should be getting that within the next fight or two. We don't have it right now.
I made a little mistake there, but that'll be
totally
fine.
fine.
Yeah.
Just a gear downshift, yep.
Yep. Ooh, thanks, Glenn.
Yeah, these fights are very forgiving. It's not, you just lose a little bit of time, but there's no real risk of dying unless big mistakes are made.
Yeah. So anyway.
So yeah, the gearing up and gearing down, again, you can gear up to level 2, which is going to be additional damage. You can gear down to 0, and that will allow you to accumulate your tactical points faster. So if for some reason you need to generate more tactical points than you have, you can always just gear down to do that.
Yep.
So a couple more gorillas here, very similar fight to the previous one. Just don't want to get paralyzed. Other than that, should be okay.
Yep. Lots of naughty monkeys in this run.
Yeah, they're being very naughty. Shame on you, monkeys.
Come on, monkeys.
They're like, we're not monkeys, we're gorillas. We heard what you said about the Canadian geese. Whack. By the way, live here at RPG Limit Break, we're at a hotel. There's like a really nice pond here, and there's like really cool ducks. So shout out to the RPG Limit Break ducks.
The ducks are pretty great.
They're pretty awesome. Get outside and see the ducks. They're super friendly, and they're really cute to look at. All right, so now we got the combo: 2 gorillas, 1 Dargon. Let's see if we have Enact Salvo.
We should have it.
We should have it now. Let's see if we do. Never say never.
Yep,
Hey, we got it. So we have an Enact Salvo, so now you can see this is good. So yeah, the first time you do it, it always hits. Like it never misses. It's just so good. The second time you do it, it misses, and then the third time you do it, it will hit again. So if it's a long combat, you can actually get it on people twice. So for these just basic monster fights, you kind of just want to move it around so that you're maximizing the utility of it.
Yep. It also does very good damage.
Yeah, I mean, it does damage too. Like, what's not to love about it, right? Thank you, Glenn.
Thank you, Glenn, for doing damage.
Yeah, thank you, Glenn, for being useful.
Yep.
So that was the last combat of this area. We are going to
do another Pushy the Orb.
Make our way forward to Pushy the Orb. Look at those orbs flying. Eggle loves pushing the orb.
Eggle's a very professional orb pusher.
Professional push the orb.
Yeah.
Team pushing the orb.
I like to. Oh yeah, that one always likes to.
It
do
does,
that for
and
some
sometimes
reason.
I hit that. Sometimes I've hit that tile because I'm going too fast, and that just resets everything.
Yeah.
That's frustrating.
All right, so we've got a boss fight here. As long as I do everything exactly according to plan, nothing bad will happen. But this boss can do some pretty nasty things if you get off script or get unlucky.
Yep. So this is Shaved Head. Enact Salvo is super effective against him. He can do like shells. He can do like a 5 shell. You have to break through all 5 shells to deal damage on him. But with the sequence that we use, it's highly unlikely that will happen. He also has a very rare ability I've only seen once or twice called Sand Blow that will reset all of your mechs back to gear 0. We just don't want that to happen because otherwise everything will go quite swimmingly.
I like to see him punching.
Yeah, punching things is fine. Please, Shaved Head, please punch me.
Yeah.
Not something that you hear often, but in this game, it's like, yes, please Shaved Head, please punch.
Yeah. And Sienna just does massive damage.
She does, yeah.
So we should be just about through here. Yep.
Well done.
Okay, so that is
that
fight.
one is finished, yep.
Yep. Now, this is one of the cutscenes I have to be very careful not to start skipping it too soon, because if I do,
You can soft lock or go invisible.
Yeah, my characters will like despawn off the game. So I've had to do this next sequence, which is a pretty complicated environmental puzzle without my characters being visible before, and that was not fun.
I was explaining that happened to me too.
Yeah.
Like everybody turned invisible. I was like, oh, the screen's still moving, but where is everybody?
Yeah.
So it looks good. All that skipping was very good. So
yeah,
now
we're fine.
Yep, and headed into the main puzzle area.
Yep. And I think this kind of just a little, for the first half of this, we're kind of just doing some basic totem puzzles again, so it would be a good time to grab an announcement or two if we have them.
Well, I am actually really excited because a bit ago we just blew past that $15,000 mark with, I know, right? Actually, this was with $100 donation. I am such a big fan of multiples of 5, so I'm very excited, to be honest. Huge thank you to Naz T. Man with a double N at the end there. So glad to, or they said, so glad to see Chained Echoes in the marathon. This game quickly became one of my favorites when I played it. Good luck to the Wolf and the Fox on the rest of the run.
Thank you so much for that.
Yeah.
This donation actually went towards the Baten Kaitos Get the Shampoo Incentive. We still need a lot of help to make this happen. I actually heard there's a special surprise prepared by the runner if this incentive gets met. So please
we love special
donate
surprises.
that money, and maybe I'd like to see a little multiple of 5 at the end of this donation number.
Does it involve actual shampoo, I wonder?
Shh, don't spoil it.
I won't. I don't know. I'm just thinking about shampoo.
All
For
right,
no reason in particular.
So this is another totem puzzle, flipping the arms of the totems. So we can flip them one cycle to get out of the area. You can flip them a second cycle to get some cool chests down there, which we just ran by, that have some very powerful weapons in them. However, we've figured out through our practice that you don't have to get the most powerful weapons to finish the game. So we do not go through those additional cycles of flipping the totem arms, and just, it hurts to leave those good weapons down there, but we do it.
It's for the good of the
They're
run.
so good, I know, exactly.
Yeah, instead, let's go grab some birds.
Instead, we're going to grab some birds.
Yeah, so there's a couple friendly golems, so we finally found some friendly golems. Whoops, I have to go in here.
There you go, yep.
Yep. One of them is looking for their bird friends, and then the other one is looking for their golem friend. So we're going to help all of these friends get reunited. There's 3 birds missing. We already found 2 of them. I kind of wish that we could... It would be a fun optimization if we could give Eggle as the 3rd bird to that other...
but we need Eggle.
Well, we do need Eggle, so we
Yeah.
probably shouldn't do that. But it would just be funny to do that and then be like, oh, bye, Eggle. You're
Or like in
golems.
classic RPG style, take all his equipment off and then give him away so we could sell his equipment or give it to the
Yeah.
next character. It's like, we know what's going to happen to you, Eggle. Let's strip him down.
But yeah, so here's the friendly golem here. He was kind of scared behind those not nice golems. So we've rescued him.
One more bird to collect,
Yep.
and then we'll have all 3.
There's the other hidden bird. Bird.
Bird,
Little bird noise.
bird.
And then
All
those 2
holding
like
hands.
yeah, those 2 like
Yeah.
each other. They're holding hands.
Yeah, they're very cute.
Yep. I'm really happy for them that they're reunited.
Yeah.
And they get to hold hands again.
They're talking to you. You can see the ... dots. So.
Yep. And then this golem is very happy that his birds are back. He's going to go look after them.
Exactly.
And yeah, then he'll get out of the way and we can go flip this last switch to finish this area. Yeah, lots of puzzles in this area. Lots of, you know, kind of learning how to move through some fairly complicated zones.
Yeah, this
lots
area
of pushy the orb.
This area is extremely difficult. Like,
you know,
to
Ferric,
learn.
I have a question for you.
Yeah.
I know how much you love pushy the orb.
I do love
Would
Pushy
you
the
like
Orb.
to do the last pushy the orb puzzle?
You would let me pushy the orb?
I think I would.
This isn't even my part of the run.
You know, it is a co-op run. I can make the rules.
Oh my
so
gosh!
Here you
Wow,
go.
you just made my night
Yep,
or my
so-
day.
Yep.
I don't know which. So
Yeah,
are
so
we
you got
here?
this.
So,
Yep.
okay.
Yep.
So well, okay. I will push you the orb. So left orb.
That was
Oops! I did it wrong.
Reset it. That's okay.
Oh no!
Let me know if you need any help.
The stress. The stress. Panic button. So all right. So right. Left.
Yep. There you
This
go.
one's I think is left and up
Yep.
and then over. Yeah.
Kind of working them up together.
Exactly. Oh, push the orb is so good.
Yeah. Are you enjoying this?
Yes, this is amazing. This is what I do commentary for, so I can do pushing the orb.
It's so satisfying.
Eggle, pushing the orb. All right, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Is there more pushing the orb?
Nope, that's the last
But
one
I have
of
the
the run.
controller now. Oh, that
I
was
need
the
it back.
last one.
That's the last one in the run, but I'm glad you got to do one.
Oh man, get you a partner that lets you push the orb, even when it's his like part of the section. So
That's right.
Thank you for that. That was
Oh,
fun.
you're welcome.
So now we're in a treasure room, collecting all of the treasure. We're gonna go ahead and throw the equipment on our characters, and then immediately head into a boss fight that is the Dark Sky Armor boss fight. Very ominous Dark Sky Armor. He can do like a terror attack. Terror attacks are tricky because if terror is on you and you're not at full hit points, when it cycles back around again, it will just kill your character. So this particular battle is a little bit about dealing damage, but it's also about keeping your characters up.
Also, just kind of figuring out whose turn it is so that you do the right thing. Yeah, we'll be fine here. That's fine.
Yep. Just use it, absolutely.
Yep.
Okay, everything looks good. So now we're kind of just in beatdown mode. Enact Salvo again being our MVP, I would say. Because as much damage as Sienna does, if you don't have Enact Salvo, this is very difficult. Looks good.
Yeah, an axe salvo definitely should not work on bosses the way that it does in this
No.
game. It's pretty broken.
It's totally broken. And it is a late skill acquire, but still, like for the entire rest of the game, we use an X
Yeah.
Salvo a lot.
All right,
That's it.
That's
yeah,
it.
well done. Nice. Good Sky Armor fight.
Thank
He's
you.
got a cool like spear or something. I don't know
Yeah.
what that is, but
Yeah, I found out earlier today, I was paying a little bit of attention to some of the cutscenes as I was skipping them, and that Dark Sky Armor actually works for the church.
Oh,
The church is kind of like
that's
this,
creepy.
In typical RPG fashion, kind of like the organization behind the scenes, like kind of pulling the strings on everything. So, yeah, more on them later.
have you ever
but
played an RPG where there's an evil church that's sort of handling things?
never. That's never been a
It just
plot
never
device in an
happens.
RPG ever.
Like
This
evil
is
angels and just evil church things going on.
extremely original ideas in this game.
2024, we called it extremely original.
Yeah.
So, hey, it's Crest, the original good boy. He's got a cute little green bandana too. So
This is a cute little sequence. We get to play as Amalia for a little bit. You're supposed to cook a meal for everyone, but we actually figured out how to skip the cutscene where the meal gets cooked, so you won't actually get to see that, but it is a very cute cutscene that you can watch
Yeah.
in the game. And, you know, if you don't figure out what everybody likes, you can still cook for them, and they still have to eat your food with hilarious consequences. So.
hilarious consequences. Hilarity ensues. So
Yeah, so we have to go talk to everybody other than Glenn. Glenn's MIA. I don't remember where
Where's
Glenn
Glenn?
is. I don't remember
Did he
where
get
Glenn is.
kidnapped?
No, I don't think so. Glenn would never get
Instead
kidnapped.
of Len, they
Yeah.
kidnapped Glenn.
But if I'm holding the cutscene skip button as I reapproach Crest, it lets me skip the cutscene, which is nice. So
Yeah, we kinda
it's a
just-
fairly long cutscene.
we kind of discovered that, which was nice. So
Yeah. I think somebody else. It was like it kind of changed after a certain patch.
Maybe it got discovered and undiscovered and rediscovered. I
Yeah,
don't
it was
know,
kind of
so,
that sort of
yeah.
thing. So, but yeah, we've got a lot of backstory to kind of fill in here for some of the characters. We won't do too much of that because we kind of don't want to spoil the story of the game for folks. But I do want to mention that there are some pretty kind of like disturbing images coming up in some of these cutscenes. So just as a heads up for that, if that is something that you do not want to watch or see, you can definitely kind of give yourself like a 10-minute break here and, come back and watch the finale of Chained Echoes after that. So,
yeah, unskippable cutscenes. So.
Yep.
So first, before we do that, though, we're kind of just making our way through these ruins. Our party has been separated out now, so Amalia and Bethraz are going to have their own little sequences. They get to fight their doppelgangers, which is like a clone. Amalia gets Crest, though. There's no Crest clone.
This is the one fight we use Amalia in.
Yeah, but we love Crest, and there's no Crest clone. So Crest is a good boy. Crest attacks the doppelganger, and we want Crest to be dealing lots of damage to take down the doppelganger fast.
If Crest gets a crit, this fight goes very fast.
Crit Crest.
Come on, Crest.
We need to level up Crest so we can crit more.
We've been talking about how good of a boy you are, Crest. Go ahead and get a crit and then prove everybody right.
That's right. And that's a preview of a very creepy-looking wall. I wonder what that might be. So, go, Crest, go. No crit. Go, Crest, go.
It's okay. If Crest doesn't crit, it's fine.
It's just, the doppelganger still does not stand a chance. So re-raise slows us down a little bit, but we still will just complete this combat without any trouble.
Yeah,
so.
There we go.
I did it. You did it, Amalia.
Yeah.
She does not have the confidence in herself that she needs.
Yeah, Amalia is a very interesting character. I think for a lot of folks, Amalia, if they play the game casually, is going to be their favorite character. Kind of a tragic story. Amalia and Bethraz do have one thing in common. They kind of made, we'll say, like a deal with the devil to get certain things, basically to stay alive in both of their cases. So, but there's also some pretty unintended side effects of that. So we're just kind of learning a little bit about their how they made these deals.
That's the demon right there, that you kind of the little dancing thing that you see.
Yep. And now they're dealing with the consequences of these choices that they made. So. Amalia basically came from a family where all of the potential heirs were out to kind of like get each other so they could be the real heir, and Amalia was the one who sort of emerged victorious.
So now we have the Bethraz portion, very similar to before. Bethraz is going to fight his doppelganger. We do get the Opal Amulet in this area. The Opal Amulet is Bethraz's endgame weapon. When we upgrade this a little bit later, it will be Opal Amulet++, and Bethraz will be critical for the gauntlet of the final bosses that we fight.
Yeah. Yeah, so this is Bethraz and his son. Bethraz was a blacksmith. Bethraz is now kind of fused with a metal body, so there's definitely going to be some stuff that gets explained on that here. But first we're going to fight the doppelganger.
So Doppelganger does not stand a chance here. We just berserk him, and
yeah, he's weak to light, and we have a big light sword, so that's it.
Yep. We don't even have to do the ultimate on him.
Yeah. And I think while we're watching this second cutscene about Bethraz's backstory would be a good time for an announcement or two.
Well, I am very happy. We just got $15 donation. It's such a beautiful number. I want to see more viewers. Please donate. This one's from One Free Fits saying, "It's me again, the rando man, One Free Fits. Loving this Chained Echoes run. Great gameplay and commentary. I don't know why the shampoo bottle is infamous, so I'm donating to find out."
Let's find out, exactly. I like it.
We got time for one more if you have something else.
Just gonna keep plugging the Baten Kaitos incentives. There is a bid war for this. You can choose the fourth companion in your party. There's Savina, and there's you're gonna love this name. It's Lyude, spelled Lyude, and that is how it's pronounced. So go ahead and donate. Which name do you think should be the fourth companion?
Nice. Yeah, very good. So yeah, here's Bethraz making the deal with the devil here, basically to save his son's life, and then they end up kind of getting fused into the same body, which is kind of a very kind of Full Metal Alchemist sort of outcome at the end of it all. Just kind of a cool thought. I don't know.
He's a cool character.
He's a really cool character. So yeah, we're sort of done here. The two of them are kind of like dealing with the reckoning here. Cress is very
like,
unhappy.
Why are you floating?
Yeah, and the rest of us are going to have to fight this thing.
So we'll do a little bit of skill ups here before we fight the next boss that looks suspiciously like a wall. Like, I can't imagine fighting a wall in an RPG. Has that ever been done before?
I don't know.
There's no way.
No. An evil wall, a demon wall, perhaps.
Demon wall. Is it going to move towards you and crush you? I don't think so. But it is going to slash at you with big swords. So we're actually leveling up Lenny here because she is useful in this fight. Because she's one of the 4 characters.
She is one of the characters in our party.
We want to make her as powerful as possible for this fight. So.
Yep.
But yeah, it should go pretty straightforward. The wall can do a blinding attack. That's the one we don't want it to do. As long as it doesn't blind you, then we've got some pretty good strats for it. Lots of good point to just kind of level our characters, again, because we want to minimize menuing, so we level everybody at that point.
Yep.
It is weak to water. Lenny does have a water attack, so she deals good damage here. Thank you, Lenny.
Yeah, Rob's also charged up and should deal a ton of damage here.
4,000, oh my gosh. Yeah, this wall is not going to stand a chance. Whack.
I got a good sequence of turns here where Rob is going after Victor, which definitely helps because Rob will deal a lot more damage.
So good, yeah.
Yep.
That should be it.
Yep.
Yeah, very nice. Good fight.
Yeah, that went very smoothly.
Yeah, he polished him off like nothing.
Mm-hmm. And then for some reason, a lot of music plays simultaneously. Don't worry about it.
All right, then it stopped. So now we get to head to Maria, which has some beautiful music.
Yeah.
It does not play simultaneously. It's a floating city in the sky.
Yep.
How did Lenny get to Marilia?
So Lenny is like, so this is like the church's main city.
Yeah.
Again, floating in the sky, typical.
It happens.
Typical
to
thing.
Church cities. Yeah.
Yep. So they're kind of overseeing and watching and judging everyone, and
they're very judgy.
Yeah. But they have decided that rather than try to impede our progress, they want to help us. So they bring us to. We can't leave, but they brought us here, and we're safe, I guess, for now.
Does that count as a kidnapping for Lenny?
I don't know. It's like I think
you can't leave.
It's like half a kidnapping.
It's like 0.5 kidnappings.
Yeah. So.
Well, anyway, we rescued Lenny from her half a kidnapping, but we're kind of stuck on this floating city for right now.
Yeah.
So this particular sequence we get in here, we kind of get into the church or the temple. A little bit of tricky movement. You have to open up some areas with key cards. A lot of the tile sets look very similar, so it does require a bit of focus.
Yep. The bad things start happening here. The floating city is not going to be floating for much longer. I'll put it that way. So.
Oh no, that doesn't sound good.
Yeah, generally you want your floating city to stay in the sky.
Yes. The magic wasn't strong enough.
All right, and I do need to level up Bathraz here because they were not present during the last sequence that I did.
Yeah,
so.
The living wall, Amalia and Bathraz were on the other side of the wall, so we didn't get a chance to actually level them up. And then we never level up Amalia because we never use her, so but
yeah.
Bathraz does need to get his points, so we took care of that. And then set our party order correctly.
Yep. These are kind of some interesting fights again casually, so the way they work is there's kind of like a guard dog and a
tamer.
A tamer, yeah. And if you defeat the guard dog, or the other way around, sorry, if you defeat the tamer, the dog will, I think, go away. Or it might go total feral. I can't remember
The dog
which.
goes ballistic.
Okay, so yeah, the other thing, yeah.
Yeah, it like powers up, because I've only had that happen once or twice where it's been weird where the tamer's been killed, but yeah, the dog like gets super powerful, so.
Yeah, it generally doesn't happen anymore because we've really kind of refined the way we do the combat in this area, but
we have experienced it, so
yeah.
So yeah, using key cards on doors, making our way through this very pretty area with pretty music.
Yeah. There's a lot of optional doors you can open that we're just not going to open because we really just need to get through this area as quickly as we can.
Yep.
There
you go. Yep,
I just want to follow the red carpet. It's a cool carpet.
Yeah, it's a very cool carpet. It's like, what could be beyond the red carpet?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, we're going to have a handful more fights like this as we're going through. So there's one or two nasty things that these enemies can do, but we're not too worried about it, honestly. So hopefully this will all just kind of go smoothly as we're going through.
Very nice.
Here.
Then they do have kind of a slow death animation, so it's always like, did I kill them? And then they kind of fade away. So they're a little bit strange that way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, right now we're collecting key cards, and it's to open up the doors. It's a little bit maze-like because, again, there's some backtracking, but yeah, we got this.
Yep. Yeah, we're cruising right along here.
I want to go smack.
Yeah, the one on the top there is the one that can do an annoying ability. So hopefully
His ability is like it's like a cage. So if your character's caged, it can't act, and you have to kill the cage before your character can act. And again, you're not really going to die, but you might have to reset the combat. And speedrun, resetting combat, we generally don't want to do that if we don't have to.
Yeah, straight up time loss.
So let's just go jump down the trash bin? Is
Sure.
that really where we're going?
I mean, it's one option.
So there's an anvil down here. This is where we're going to do our final upgrade for Bethrazza's weapon, so that he'll have the Opal Amulet ++, which is his endgame weapon.
Yep.
And then we've been very careful to collect the correct mats. Off to the right there, you can see the required materials. We did not have to do anything other than what we did at Shambhala, so we were kind of planning ahead, and then the reward board also gave us the materials that we needed. So we got some people that are kind of watching the combat, I guess, off to the left there.
No, we're saving them.
Oh, saving. Okay,
Yeah,
gotcha.
yeah. They're not spectators.
I thought
they're in distress.
I thought they paid a ticket to see see this fight. So
Fight.
We love the trash. We love the trash. So, oh my gosh, these ones are literally standing in the trash. So
yeah. We're saving them from certain peril.
We're going to get them out of the trash for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, we're just still doing the same thing in most of these fights, just kind of stacking debuffs, charging up Rob, and swinging away.
You got it.
But yeah, we're about to the area where the boss fights start to get pretty dynamic. So there's that. We're almost done here.
Which I think those spinning things are probably like the turbines that are supposed to keep Mary Lee in the
Yeah.
air.
Yep. That would be my guess.
Or to keep the stinky out of the trash.
Yeah, there's also a bunch of monsters here because apparently the church is the one that's been making all the monsters. Thanks, church.
Thanks, evil church.
Yeah.
Good skip, by the way, on that combat up there. That's
Thanks.
a tight skip where you have to really clip that cone really tight, and you did a very good job there.
Thank you.
So we will have one more basic combat before we have the boss fight for this level. I guess it would be called level.
Yeah. This zone.
But yeah, that scorpion thing I think was in Perpetua.
Yep.
Yeah, if I remember correctly. I've never really looked at like what's in the cages, but when you're doing commentary, you get to see all the things you don't normally see because you don't have to be as focused. So.
See a lot of stuff that
Exactly. So very
otherwise.
nice. And we'll get all set up here to fight Raphael and Eva.
Yep. Fun little tidbit about this. So Raphael is actually a playable character in this game.
Yep.
After this, after this kind of chapter is over, so.
So take these down one at a time so that they can't do a combined attack. Usually up to Blaze, but we usually kind of do Raphael first because he's got the...
No. Oh, I didn't mean to do that, but I'll take it.
Oh, wow, nice. You did enough damage. Yeah, because of the hit point differential between the two, but either or. Again, it's kind of like a micro-optimization, I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah, this also works. That should do it. Yep, good job.
Yep.
So we will soon be waving adieu to Marilia. That's French. I'm cultured.
Yes.
So Marilia has been completed. What's next?
Yeah, we're really kind of coming down to the last couple areas here. So remember like about an hour ago when I took over and I was just kind of chilling in that dude's mind?
Yeah.
So we're going to do like the final exam for that now.
Oh, gosh.
Where we're going to go into Glenn's mind because when Mary Leah fell out of the sky, for whatever reason, Glenn kind of went into a coma.
Did he bonk his head or what happened?
I'm not totally sure, but he's not doing too hot, and we're going to go ahead and try to help him out. So
we're going to explore his mind a little bit, but his mind is a bit more complex than the other guy's mind.
It's got a merchant in it for some reason.
Yeah, he's got a merchant in his mind.
He's been thinking about some deals.
If you need any items, and just go visit Glenn's mind and knock him out, and just go talk to the merchant. So yeah, collecting 3 types of items again. There's basically 2 different phases to this part. This part of like the puzzle. There are actually combats in Glenn's mind, which is a little bit different than the other one.
Yep.
We'll see what the eyes want to do here.
All right, right, they didn't do their annoying thing.
Very nice. So yeah, so they can actually blind your characters, and if they blind Rob, you kind of just have to do a reset. They did not, so that went very quickly. Good job.
Yeah, we're happy with that.
We do like that, and then we do some touchy the orb and take the items that we need to.
Yep. Yeah, and this is just all about kind of like changing stuff up, sort of recognizing like, you know, what does this look like, you know, because you've got these different almost like Tetris pieces.
It's like shapes, yeah.
Yeah, so like what shape looks like it? Like this doesn't look like a beach would go there because that one's just kind of like a vertical piece. So we'll go ahead and do this one.
Yeah, there's like straight, and then there's like the zigzag one.
Yep.
Some noses.
Yeah, there's a ship over here, so this is a new one.
Sure.
Actually, that one I didn't need to take the dungeon out, but that's okay. I'll just put it back in.
Yeah, this is a very tricky area, so as much concentration or focus as you need.
Yep. Now. All right. Yeah. That'll get us to another area here.
Yeah, that particular one, you place it, walk through, grab it, and then you actually had dropped the ship from the opposite side to be able to run around and get in it. It is.
Yeah.
It's a bit much to learn. So,
yeah, and I can't retrieve the ship now, so that's the next phase here.
Right, so we're halfway through because Rob wants to talk and explain things, so we know that we've at least got it halfway done at this point.
Yeah. I find the second half of this a lot more straightforward than the first half.
The first half is hard because you're doing the running through and grabbing, and then you're also dropping stuff and then backtracking to go through it, which is very confusing.
So that was retrieving the ship just now, so now I have everything I need to proceed. Yep.
You have all the pieces. There's a little bit of movement tech coming up here. I will point it out when it happens.
Yep, more skipping encounters.
Do you need to concentrate more, or am I good to read a donation?
You can read a donation, absolutely.
Excellent. This is $50 coming in from Bahamut X saying, "Hey Blaze and Ferric, wanted to be there in person for your run, but I'm still on my way to RPGLP.
Oh dear.
I wanted to still say hi and good luck on the rest of your run."
Nice. Thanks so much, Bahamut. Appreciate it.
We'll see you soon.
Yeah.
And thank you so much, Bahamut X, for contributing to the bonus cat percent run for Indivisible.
All right, and that was I had to really hug that wall there to get through that, so. And we're almost out of here. That was the last placement, and we can kind of just run to the end now, and then we'll get to the real fun stuff, because that honestly wasn't that fun. To me, anyway.
That is just very difficult on the brain. But
yeah, especially at... Yeah, I don't want to look and see what time it is at this point. We're doing fine.
We call this the wee hours.
Yes.
The wee hours.
The Nintendo Wii hours. All right, so we're going to run through this section, and these enemies don't want to fight. This is strange. Like, they just kind of want to float around. And
yeah, why would they just want to float around and then they, like, run away from you when you run up to them?
I'm not trying to... I'm not scary, am I?
We're taking a look through Glenn's mind. Just take a look. There's some lips there with some wings on it, sure.
Yeah.
It's an RPG. There's a lip with wings. It's okay.
Yeah, let's just let's see what they're up to here.
Oh dear, what is happening? There's eyes, nose, and lips. Things are happening. Oh, that thing is very creepy looking.
It kind of looks like a moth.
It's a behemoth.
Yeah.
Behemoth.
The game comes with its own puns, believe it or not.
This is my type of dev right here. Behemoth, perfect. I'm sold. So. Behemoth is usually fairly straightforward, but he can do some rudeness. He can do. Hopefully, he just won't do it. I won't say what it is.
Yeah, this fight's over.
I don't want to jinx it. So.
Yeah.
Oh, he's already dead.
Yeah,
so
I got a good turn order, so he gets extra turns for some reason. So
he does act twice. So,
yeah.
So act twice, he generates like.
But he also, like the debuffs can fall off potentially.
Yep,
so
that's true.
That's what didn't happen. So that was nice.
Yeah. Yeah, the debuffs that you put on only last a certain number of turns, so if you put them on too early, you have to make sure the monster doesn't go multiple times because they will fall off before Rob does his attack. So it's just a lot of situational awareness of the way the RNG plays out. You have to pay attention to initiative order. So.
Yep. And there's actually kind of a different approach I'm going to take to this next boss fight and a couple of the ones that follow. because they will summon ads, and they will also start doing more like kind of long attacks, kind of particularly brutal attacks. This is the Chained Echo, by the way.
This
namesake.
is the Chained Echo?
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Singular Chained Echo. Look at that beast. There's an angel, and there's a guy, and like some wings, and a clock, and some chains. This looks like an epic
lot
boss.
going on
I like
here.
it.
Yeah.
That's a very busy sprite.
Yeah, so
I'm here for it.
I might have to do an extra turn here because I did the first turn wrong. So we'll see how this goes, but
Just
it should be
focus, you're
fine.
doing good.
Yep. Let me see. It should be okay. Nope, heavy fell off. Okay, I'm going to charge one more time, and then we'll put draw iron back on. What I'm trying to do here is I want to make it so that Rob and Bethraz can kind of go back to back with tons of damage. Well, the boss did get a turn here in between, so not really ideal, but it'll be fine.
It's all going to work out.
Yep.
Just didn't work the way that you were kind of thinking, but we're still just going to deal a lot of damage to the Chained Echo and say goodbye to him very shortly.
It's going to be just fine. Yeah, we're trying to skip as many of these kind of like summon animations as we can. This should do it. Oh, not quite.
There you go.
Yeah, okay.
He had just a little bit left, so.
Yeah, so a little bit clunky.
Wave goodbye
but
to the Chained Echo. Guess the game's over. That was the namesake for the game. Not quite.
No, there's more.
Hey, there's more.
Yeah.
Bonus. Yeah.
It's Chained Echoes.
Maybe there's another Chained Echo waiting for us somewhere. So.
There's something, all right.
That's right. So the Chained Echo is done. So very nice job with that.
Thank you. But yeah, we don't have too much left. We're going to be heading to another dungeon here. We haven't done any Sky Armor stuff in a while, so I think we'll just go ahead and do some Sky Armor
what's that
stuff.
octopus-looking thing?
It's eating the remains of Mary Leah, actually, where it fell into the sea. So
okay, that sounds tragic.
yeah,
At least we got Glenn out of there.
Yeah. Yeah, we're okay. Everybody else is probably fine too, but I'm not thinking about it too much.
Life vests. So,
yeah.
So this is the tower. This is now we're back in Sky Armors. Lots of upgrades for our Sky Armors. Every chest that we open, we will be using. We do for the speedrun. I think we do 3 levels of this, and then there's a boss fight at the end that's particularly tricky that we'll discuss once we get there.
Yep. Bethraz finally gets an elemental cannon upgrade, which is nice. With about 30 minutes left in the run or less. So, all right, and I want to make sure I hit this guy.
I wasn't gonna say anything.
No,
but
you're good.
This one's a little tricky because there's a mage and a warrior. One's immune to magic, one's immune to physical, so you have to target them correctly.
Yeah.
Again, you're not gonna die to these guys, but like it's just like dope moment if you like hit the wrong one because it is gonna slow you down.
Yep.
Nicely done. Wow, he went down.
Mm-hmm. Yep, no, that one fine. All right, this floor. I'm gonna grab 2 more chests, and then we've got the first of 2 Baki fights. Remember the Baki from before?
I remember the Baki.
They're back.
I remember the Baki from before.
They look the same. They're just tougher.
I wonder what the lore is for the Baki. I don't know. But they certainly do seem to be everywhere.
They sure are.
Yeah, this tower also has a lot of underground areas that you have to do to be able to unlock the super boss fight. Is that correct?
Yep. That'll be happening later.
So Blaze has already done the playthrough to kind of explore all these additional areas to be able to do the super boss, and we'll be able to showcase that later, which is wonderful.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, thank you for all the donations for that. All right, so there's one.
Nice job.
Yep.
Very well done. Just like I like my burgers. Well done.
You admit to that.
I admit to it. I had a burger for dinner. I was like, it was well done.
Just the way the fox ordered.
Exactly.
All right.
So collecting our last 2 boxes here, and then we'll probably do some equipment upgrades, and then move on to the next Baki fight.
Yep. And then the boss fight for this area is pretty interesting,
Yeah,
so we'll have a lot to talk about there.
It can go well, it can not go well. So we will roll the dice and see what Maria likes to do. There is a soft lock that is a known error in the game, so we will have to quickly save, exit out, and reload so that that does not happen. So you will see that briefly happen before the boss fight.
Yep.
But first things first, now we've got 4 Bakis guarding the way.
Yeah, I'm just trying to make sure Sienna doesn't accidentally die here.
Yeah, sometimes they like to gang upon Sienna, and that's no good. We don't like that.
Kind of rude, honestly.
Sienna also has like a cowl on her sky armor, which is really cool too.
Yeah.
Very fitting for her.
Mm-hmm. So
that should work.
Get all of them there.
Very nice. Good job.
All right. So, Ferric, you can kind of start talking about the Maria fight, and I'll do the save quit. And I'm also going to do
how to solve a problem like Maria.
Yes, we need to tell everybody how we solve a problem like Maria.
I do like to sing during this boss fight, so if you don't want to hear me sing, press 0 in chat, and if you, I guess, don't want to hear me sing, press 1 in chat, because you probably don't want to hear me sing at like 2 a.m. in the morning.
You can be honest, too.
Yeah, exactly. My voice is already shot. Like, let's not do this.
Let's do no singing.
Let's just vote no singing. So Maria's tricky because Maria and the Valkyries do mirrors, which absorb attacks. So what we do for this is we equip 2 glaives on our sky armors, because glaives allow us to do hornet attacks, and hornet attacks deal multiple attacks, so we can kind of peel off those mirror images to actually get the damage through. Once we're able to do that, we generally take out the Valkyries first so that they can't mirror up Maria, and then we focus on Maria. Depending on our turn order, if the fight goes long, we absolutely have to do some tactical point management, because we won't be able to push enough damage through to actually kill her with the mirrors. But things are looking pretty good right now. We should be able to take out that other Valkyrie. Mm-hmm. Not quite, but she did it on Maria, so we should be
That's
okay.
fine.
Yeah. So she did not mirror herself, so we can just attack her and kill her. And then we can focus on Maria.
Yep, and I got a very good turn order for this on the whole. So,
yep.
Yeah, even Glenn just got another turn here, so this might, this is going to be perfect.
So Glenn can enact shot her.
Yep.
And then she won't be able to mirror herself, and then Bethraz, she's weak to water. Bethraz will be able to do water attack, and then a couple attacks she should be done, because she will not be able to mirror up again. So that was actually not to speak preemptively, but
it's not quite done yet. But
very good Maria fight. I think one more. Oh, so close.
Yeah, we'll see. Okay, she didn't mirror up,
we'll
so
take break
who cares?
Arms. Sure, exactly. Like that's weakest attack she could do. So yeah, very good Maria fight.
Yeah,
very impressed there.
That turned out really well.
That's a stressful one for sure.
I'm gonna give Ferric a lot of credit for figuring out how to optimize that fight, because that was a fight that was really, really infuriating to this run for a very long time, and we kind of knew how to approach it, but then Ferric sort of figured out the missing step, which was to use the second glaive to get a second Hornet Swarm, or whatever it's called, is really good at stripping those shields.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a tough fight, that's for sure, and it certainly helps to be able to strip those away faster. So now we're immediately off to our next Kulex fight. So, or who? No. Who's in this game?
Distinct Kulex.
Yeah, distinct Kulex, exactly. The sprite is super cool. The fight is just kind of
not very interesting,
not memorable,
because
we just kind of wreck him.
Yeah.
A lot of enact shot, a lot of high damage. We don't even mess with the crystals, so.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm just going to be kind of powering everybody up and then exploiting the weaknesses. Enact shot's just too good for the bosses at this point. They just can't really overcome.
Can't manage it.
All of it, so. Let's try to have that now. He's going to get like one turn here basically, and he did a heal, so that's fine.
Yeah, heal is not going to be enough for the damage that we're putting out right now.
Nope, not at all.
Nicely done.
Yep, so that's over.
Very cool sprite, though, you have to admit. That just looks cool, so.
Oh, for sure. Yep, and then once I kind of get control after this last sequence of cutscenes, we'll be off to the final dungeon.
Hey,
we're coming to the end here. So
final dungeon time.
This is the moment where we do get rid of the Grand Grimoire. It kind of goes in the thing,
it's a
and
weird
then
looking
the thing explodes. Yeah, bye. So that thing's gone now. And that really angers the kind of like ancient gods that kind of look over the land, and they're going to sort of confront us for a final showdown. We do have a little bit of flashing lights with their appearance here, so if you're sensitive to stuff like that, we'll try to call out the couple instances where the screen will be flashing a little bit. There's one or two more, so
it's not terrible, but there's a couple.
And while we're watching this long unskippable cutscene, Deeds, do you have anything else that you could read for us?
You know what? We've gone all this game, and I have yet to even talk about the prizes that one of you, yes, you, our lucky viewers, could get. We have this amazing Buster Sword. I am staring, as a fellow prop maker, I am staring at just the handlebar on this thing is amazing. And you can get that for cumulative just throughout the entire week. As long as you donate $250, you can get a chance to get this sword. We've also got a custom Game Boy Advance SP. That is our mini grand prize. Up until, if you donate $75 at any point up into the Live A Live, you can get that beautiful purple custom Game Boy Advance SP. Also, my favorite prize in this block is just for $5. You just have to send me $5. Again, the beautiful number 5. You can get a Chocobo large cube plush. It's so cute, guys. If you haven't seen the picture scrolling through, give it a look and give us $5, and maybe you'll get that cute little plush cube.
We got to see the plush cube while we were getting interviewed earlier. It's adorable.
The plush cube's pretty amazing. That Buster Sword is really cool too. It's got like the gems that you can put on it, or the materia, are like magnetic, so you can actually like swap out whichever colors you want. That's just like a premium prize. So.
Yeah, if you need like a summon materia for the day.
Exactly. If it's like a Monday morning, like if you need a certain materia for that.
Yeah, make sure you put the right materia in before you head out for the day.
That's right.
All right, so this is my last like huge menu. I kind of have to do like one more after this, but this is really one of the last big ones. So
yeah, this is setting all of our level ups for a lot of the end game, because we're in Nissa again. We have complete access to the city, so we're going to, we grabbed one upgrade for Sienna to upgrade her ranged weapon, and then just leveling up our characters before we kind of head into, there's going to be a couple like sort of basic monster fights, and then we'll just be kind of right into the final boss gauntlet after that, so.
Yep.
So yeah, there's some built-in lag in the menus. Even though it has cursor memory, you do have to kind of wait sometimes when it's like loading up like a level up like that, for example. So it's a little bit of waits patiently when you're trying to move really fast. But we've studied these menus a lot, and kind of like I said in the first half of the game, like, RPG speedrunning, you better get comfortable with menuing. You better like want to work on that, because it takes a lot of work. So yeah.
Yep, and then I also have to set a bunch of these new skills that I just learned, so we're going to do that one. And then I need to make sure my magic ups are level 2. I'm actually going to make that one level 3, because why not?
If you can, yeah. So Bethra's got a very important ability called Heaven and Hell, and that's going to be critical for the final boss fight. So he currently has Berserk. Berserk deals some additional damage, but Bethra's also takes some damage. And then now he has Heaven and Hell. Heaven and Hell is going to set a status effect to him that he dies in 3 turns, but it increases its damage output by 2.5x.
2.8 actually, the way we level it up immediately.
Oh,
so,
sure.
Yeah.
So 2.8, and then that stacks with Berserk. So kind of like Rob, we do a lot of like damage stacking. Now we're also doing like Bethra's damage stacking. And when you combine that with his Ultra, he just becomes like a damage machine, and you will see that in the final boss fight for sure. He is the key. He is the key to unlocking the final boss fight. So
yeah, we'll talk plenty about that before it's time.
But first, let's just kill some worms.
Yep.
Very nice. Good. Looks good. So we'll leave Nissa, and then we have to do a little bit on foot.
Forgot one thing on this menu.
No problem. So kind of sneaking out of town here. There you go. So we saw some pig ears like within the first 15 minutes of the game, I think. These are purple pig ears. These are the pig ears that grow underground in the areas where trees are burning and like there's haunted cities and things like that. So
I thought they were just grape flavored.
oh gosh, I've never tasted one. Like maybe grape flavored bacon. It's
I don't even
possible.
know.
They're purple, so it's possible.
Yeah.
So let's clean off our party here again. Everybody's getting stinky, so get in the water.
Nah, they're fine.
Washy, and then pop out again to our next area.
Yeah.
So once we kill these pig ears, it's a pretty quick transition to a vein cutscene. There's a little bit of flashing again, so if you're flashing sensitive, just be aware of that.
Yeah, it's like a vein jump scare.
Yeah, it comes very fast after this.
Oh, I forgot to equip the ether cannon also.
You got this. There you go. Jump scare.
Yep.
Okay, that's it. So now there's some actually, as we re-enter the town, there's kind of some cool movement tech. Did you want to describe that, Blaze?
Yeah, so we're going to be coming up on a big dragon. And if you get too close to the big dragon, it starts a conversation about the cool big dragon. So that actually makes it so that you can't get out of your sky armor. So I'm going to, right before I hit that dialogue, I'm going to jump out so I can grab this key. And then because I'm out of my sky armor, you would think it's slower because I'm moving slower, but I can actually squeeze through here and get into this house earlier than I would be if I was stuck in my sky armor waiting for that dialogue to finish up.
Yeah, very nice, and you discovered that, and I've implemented that as well. It's a very nice way of skipping dialogue, because if you get stuck in the dialogue sequence, you can't like advance your characters, and that will definitely slow you down.
Yep. Also, shout outs to Plot Armor for
Plot Armor, best armor.
being the best name for an armor in a game.
Yes, please give me Plot Armor.
Whoops, I needed to go down one more. There we go. Nope.
Everything's good. So you just go up and then all the way over. So this is kind of like a warehouse district, and pretty shortly here we are going to be discovering some seedy characters that we've seen before. So
I don't know what I did there. That's fine.
yeah, that's fine.
Yep. And we got our plot armor. We're going to put that on Bathraz.
Yes.
And I also need to put Glenn in for this fight. Okay.
There you go. Perfect. Yep. So who do we greet in the warehouse district? But the Thieves Guild again.
They're back.
Thieves Guild, or what are they called? I don't know exactly what they're called.
Thieves Gang.
Thieves Gang, exactly.
Yeah.
So same crew of 4 before. Same strats. We're going to use Glenn's Ultra, and then use Rob to take him out.
Yep.
Depending
Stop
on,
me if you've heard this one before.
Yeah, exactly. Depending on the turn sequence, we can run into, some variants that we need to, but this is looking pretty good right now.
Yeah.
Nice.
Victor?
That's very good.
Victor for the win.
That's very good. That went very fast.
Yep.
So they dropped a bunch of money, so let's go grab their money and then get out of here. They also dropped a key.
I didn't need that last one. It's fine. I mostly need the key. I'm not even sure I need the money.
We don't need the money, but we grab it anyway because it's right there. So, yep. So we have the key now. The key gives us access to some additional areas, kind of underneath Nissa. So that's where we're going to head back to.
Yeah, we're just kind of working our way through to the core.
A little bit of
you would kind of
backtracking.
call it. Yeah.
House has definitely seen better days.
Yeah, they really need to kind of fix this place up a little bit.
Tidy up.
Who wants to say hi to the cute dragon?
I'll say hi to the cute dragon.
Yeah, he's kind of cute and sleepy. He won't wake up, so we can go say hello now.
Hello.
Hi, cute dragon.
Yeah, he looked very sleepy.
Yeah, he's out. He's been out for like centuries.
He's like knocked out.
Yep.
So now we're kind of underneath Nissa, and this dungeon cellar area actually connects to a lot of other areas in the world. So we have to kind of move very specifically to pop out in the area that we want to pop out, which is the end battle.
Yep, there's another boss coming up here. Can be a little bit of a tricky fight, so we'll hope for a
Wiederganger.
good turn order here.
Another German boss.
Yep. We're going to use Heaven or Hell for the first time here.
That works. So basic attacks, we will always welcome basic attacks.
And now I just want to get through this fight. I'm going to use that Heroic Ode that I learned. We'll use Wind Gust, and then Rob and Bathraz should be able to kind of do a 1-2 punch to finish this thing off. Honestly, Rob's
Oh
punch
yeah, Rob
almost
did 9,000 damage.
I think that was a crit.
Like,
Yeah.
that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Vitor Gonger is very dead after this.
Yeah, this will end the fight easily.
Yeah, so that's 9,000 plus like 7,500. That is huge. So very good fight. Yeah, he can be a little bit trolly. He's definitely trolled me. Actually, when we were racing, he trolled me, and then you beat me.
Yeah, that's true.
We've raced this game before, and we were kind of neck and neck, and Vitor Gonger did some kind of rude stuff to me, and Blaze managed to pull ahead. So
yeah, that happens.
that was fun.
Yep. All right, so got another cool boss coming up here.
So this
you wanna
one
talk
is
about what's
this one's
going on
called
here?
Memory. So Memory, we move our way through this house, and we're talking to different spirits, and depending on what we select for the from the spirit selection dialog box is going to be the abilities that the memory gets. So we want to select very specific parts of the dialogue. For Blaze's run, he takes the first one, right?
Yeah, I would say I don't pick specific ones. I just
Okay.
take the first one every
Gotcha.
time. But
it works.
Yeah.
So yeah, it works.
yeah, we get through it, mostly. We used to specifically make it so that it was more of a status effect based, but then I got like some really nasty stuff done to me, and I just don't do that
You're
anymore.
like, I don't want status effects.
Yeah, status effects bad. So we've unlocked the boss. Now we're going to go over here and meet him in
So it's a
combat.
big blob. Let's do
It is a
it.
big blorb.
Mega Blorb.
Yep. So look, kind of like the last boss fight, except he gets some extra turns, so I just sort of need to be sensitive to that with my debuffs to make sure that they all stick.
Flail all night long.
I'm going to use Mazurka here just to be safe.
That's good damage.
Almost
10,000.
got him.
Jeez,
Probably
that is
finish him off
nuts.
here.
It's so good. That's it.
Yep.
All right, well played. And then he's guarding a key that we need to get to the final space.
Yep. So definitely don't leave without getting that key. 'Cause that's never happened
I've
before.
never done that before. I've
Yeah.
never left. You kind of just want to stop playing at that point.
Yeah, 3 hours and change
'Cause
into your run.
The run is over if
Yeah.
you leave the key.
All right, so we have the key, and we're going to get out of here. We're going to go back to the entrance because it's faster than just
Yeah.
kind of running back through all of those areas that we went to. And now we are basically going to fly to the final boss fight. There
Couple of
is
wyverns we can slip past right there.
there
so
is
that's nice.
one more boss. We're actually going to skip this boss, which is kind of a weird thing to say in a glitchless run. But Ferric, can you kind of explain why it's okay to skip this boss?
Yeah, so when we're opening these gates, we're hitting a trigger to open the gate, and then we can also skip the cutscene for the gate by hitting the cutscene skipper. So when we do that for this particular boss, as we move through the gate, it kind of like the game like loses track of where we are. So when we come up on the boss right here, it's going to give us some previous dialogue for like the blob, and then the boss never lands, and we can just go
Yeah.
past it without doing it. It's called the Wyatt skip. So it's
Yeah.
pretty epic. It saves like 60 seconds off the run because, again, Wyatt, you're usually not going to wipe to Wyatt, but he's going to take a minute off your run. So
Yep. And Ferric kind of figured out sort of the mechanics of how that worked, because a lot of people had sort of done it by accident, but no one could quite figure out exactly what was going on. And then Ferric kind of did some testing and figured out that it was because of the there was like a cutscene skip trigger that
Yeah.
would like carry over essentially.
yeah,
so.
exactly. Yeah, it felt good. Yeah, you get that weird dialogue. So.
Yep.
So yeah, that's pretty much included in the run now. So we're actually at the final boss gauntlet. There's going to be 3 bosses in a row. We're doing some level ups right now to power up and make ourselves into our best adventurers before we go into the final boss fights.
Yep.
You know, you've heard me talk about several artists throughout this whole run. I just want to also give a huge shout out to an artist that deserves special thanks, who worked on our overlays, named Oro. They can be found on Twitter at Orolin. That is OUROLEN. So thank you so much. These overlays are very beautiful.
All right, we're just doing our last couple skill ups here, and then I want to set Bethraz learned an ability called well, I wanted to put this HP up on too, but SOS Magic up. And then just going to do one last quick check to see if there's anything else that I can upgrade here. Doesn't look like it. So yeah,
You look good.
I think we're good. I do have to change my formation as well. So Rob and Len need to kind of be a duo, and then we're good to go.
Yeah, Len becomes incredibly important for the last fight here. She's had limited utility up until now, but you cannot do the final fight without her. So
yeah, not in the way we do it, which is extremely fast relative to the more like
the
traditional way.
traditional route. Yes, exactly.
Yep. So we've got a Skyrimer battle and then 2 on-foot battles here.
And that guy should look familiar. That's actually, somebody told me that was Killian.
Kind of looks like Killian, doesn't it?
Looks like a big, tough Killian with one wing, right?
Yeah, he's a one-winged Killian.
One-winged Killian. One-winged boss fights. Never seen that before.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is fairly scripted. There's one very rude thing that he can do, so hopefully he won't do that. But other than that, if we kind of track damage and keep an eye on him, we should be in good shape. He does do an ultimate attack that will wipe your party, so if we're in any danger of dying to the ultimate, we will avoid that by blinding him.
Yep.
Everything's looking pretty good so far.
Yep. Change of plans.
Yep,
so this
evil.
is, I'm just going to attack basic.
Yep, exactly, yeah.
Damage break him one more time.
Weak to fire, which is rare.
Yep, that's the fight.
Oh,
okay,
that
good.
went fantastic. Very nice fight. Labrador is what I call him. I don't know what his actual name is. But
Labrodia dervinus.
thank you very much.
AKA Labrador, AKA
Labrador
one-winged
retriever.
Killian.
Yeah.
So
Labrador Killian.
yeah.
So there's Killian on the right, and there's our crew on the left. Next fight is a big engine, so it's like a big tank that has like 4 characters attached to it.
Yep. This looks like something right out of Final Fantasy VI.
It really does, yes. Using similar strats to what we did before. Ooh, and spooky organ
ominous,
music.
yeah.
Spooky organ music. Don't be afraid, people. We got this.
Yeah.
Even with the spooky organ music, it's creeping towards us as we wait patiently.
Yep.
Creeping towards its doom.
Yep.
Oh, the spooky organ music is for the engine, so I'm going to let Blaze focus here for a moment. So Glenn...
This fight's actually kind of like just a standard fight that we've been doing for
It
most
really
of the
is,
run, honestly.
because we've gotten so good at it. So Glenn's Ultra is going to break everybody, so all the debuffs are applied.
There's one scary thing it can do, so I kind of have to pay attention.
We have
and
to
see
keep
what
an
it
eye
does
out,
here.
yeah. If it doesn't do the scary thing, we'll be okay.
It did not.
No scary thing currently.
Yep. Can do what's called a death stagger.
Yeah. Already looking really good.
Yep.
Everything looks good there. So life thread will actually kill your character when
that's
that enemy dies, but if we kill him at the end, it doesn't matter anyway because
All right.
the character gets resurrected. So, all right, on to the final battle. You guys are going to see some serious swag here if you've hung with us for Chained Echoes for this long. This is actually the final boss fight. Good luck, Blaze.
Thank you. Yeah, this is very specifically scripted. There's a lot that the Vayne can do here to kind of like change things up as well. So I'm gonna let Ferric kind of explain what's going on,
Sure.
and I'm gonna focus on making sure that I'm able to take this boss out.
Yeah, it's a lot to keep track of. We did get a very good turn order at the beginning, though, which is nice. So everybody got to go. Essentially, what we have to do is we have to stack these coats onto Bethraz. So Lenny can do a coat ability. She can coat the 3 elemental attacks onto her party. So that's what we're going to use her for. There's wind, water, and fire coats. Then Bethraz is going to want to get Berserker, which is his damage boost. He's going to want to get Heaven and Hell, which is also his damage boost. Victor's going to put a power up onto Bethraz as well. Glenn is going to make Vayne weak with armor attack, and then we're going to put all the elemental debuffs on Vayne. And then, if everything comes together, and if Vayne isn't trolly, we can actually kill the boss in a single shot. No additional phases, nothing. One shot and he's done.
A little worried about Len here, but I did get all the coats up already, so there's that at least. We're almost there. I don't know if I'm going to be able... Ooh, actually, I think I am going to be able to do this turn.
So we are using items to put the debuffs on him. Those are the items that I collected earlier in the game,
Yep.
so you're
so
welcome.
Fire, Water, Wind,
Awesome.
Berserk,
good.
Heaven or Hell, and then he's got all 5. So this
Oh,
should
it's good.
be
Fire.
this should be good.
Yep.
So
that actually went really well.
We'll see. I'll believe it when I see it.
Oh, yeah. Is that it?
It's pretty close. Okay, we got it. Time is coming up,
no.
and time. That's time.
Time, yeah. Oh my gosh, I thought you didn't get it.
The number was lower. I don't know why.
Low?
Don't worry about it.
All right. So go ahead.
Yeah. No, that's the main game. So there's just a lot going on in this run. It's one of my favorite glitchless runs that I've ever learned, and I'm really glad that we got to do this together at RPG Limit
that
Break.
was awesome.
So
Yeah,
that was a lot of fun
super
doing that
yeah.
together. I do have a post-run incentive. I don't know if we can just go right into that. Okay, so let me get through the credits. I have to skip a couple cutscenes, and then I have a pre-made save. And this is going to be to fight the optional super boss that we fight at the end of the all bosses run, which is another really cool category of this game that I enjoy doing. So, okay, good. It did skip that.
It's the God King game drill.
Yep. So let me go ahead and load this save, and then I'll just kind of talk a little bit about what's going on with this fight. There's honestly not that much different from the fight that we just did in terms of like levels and skills. Before we can do this optional super boss, I have learned a couple extra abilities. Glenn has a emblem called the Bandit emblem. So I'll just point that out really quick. We get that in the all bosses run because we kind of need some extra turns for some of the bosses just because they're a little bit scary. And then there's an optional ability that I put on Victor to kind of keep things a little bit safer. It is not on here. Maybe I didn't learn it before the save. So I'll go ahead and learn it right now really quick. It is called Meditation Song because this boss does some really nasty status effects, and I want to make sure that I've got that.
Yeah.
Yep. All right, so we've got that. This is my correct party. We should be good to go. I might finish this really quickly. I might not finish this really quickly. It all depends on what the boss decides to do because he can be pretty nasty.
That's the kind of fight we like.
And I just want to show this off really quick. So in order to actually get to this boss, you have to do 6 optional side quests. 5 of them are other really advanced boss fights, and then one of them is kind of like a fetch quest almost. But you have to gather all of these items here to unlock the boss. So it is a fairly involved side quest to get to this. Yeah. We'll see how this goes. Hopefully I can get this first try. This is the God King game drill. Again, thank you very much for donating for this because I'm super excited to show this off. And actually I'm going to not skip the cutscene. So finally, the seal is broken, so my supposed never-ending sleep does indeed come to an end.
Spooky.
These cowards sealed me here, thinking that with my death, the War of the Thousand Realms would end here, and this godforsaken island, away from any semblance of a civilization. But now I am free again. The world will once again kneel in fear of my return, for I am the ruler of the Eastern Realms, founder of the Genos, son of, I don't even know what this is. Why am I even reading this? But anyway.
Destroyer of true kings, first of his name. God King. Oh, this is a gamer. G-A-E-M.
Game drill.
Gamer drill. Hardcore gamer. Look at how that's spelled.
Yep. So now I shall bestow upon you the reward for releasing me. Let me vanquish your vessel and free your souls from the bonds of human flesh.
And blah, blah, blah. You're in big trouble.
All right. So here we go. So we're going to do an armor break. This is a pretty okay turn order. Heroic Ode. Shield All. This is a new Eggle ability that we learned specifically for some of these fights. And then we'll do a Draw Iron here. Now he's in a physical phase right now. He's only going to do physical attacks. It is very important that I do not tip him into his other phase. I'm going to sneak in a quick cross slash here because Glenn got an extra turn. And then I'm going to bring in Rob. Rob is going to charge. We're going to do Poetic March here. Eggle is going to Wind Gust, and Bethraza is going to do Heaven or Hell. We'll see what he does here. If he just does physical attacks, I should be okay. He hits really hard. Okay, so I should have this.
Good.
Yep, so we're going to do Power Pierce with Rob. Let me just Mazurka just in case. I'll do Shield All again. And then hopefully this will do the final blow here. We'll see what kind of damage we get. It's a lot of damage. That's it.
Hey, good
Got it.
job. First try.
Okay, so that normally does not go that smoothly.
That went
and
very smoothly.
I feel good about kind of my choice to read some of that pre-fight dialogue as well because that made it feel a little bit more epic than what it actually was.
Yeah.
So
Very good turn.
But yeah,
order,
just
so,
like
yeah.
that is like the ultimate bad that you can fight in this game. I'm really glad that I got to show that off. You've accomplished what no one else has done before you was capable of. I'm the Slayer of Kings.
Do it.
All right, so we get
King's
a
Monument.
cool thing there called the King's Monument, and if I was doing the all bosses run now, I would go fight the Vayne and do all that stuff I just did a second ago. So
exactly.
I just want to do a couple quick shout-outs before we head out here. I know we're trying to get the marathon back on schedule, but I want to thank the entire Chained Echo speedrunning community. It's been a really great community to get involved in pretty much from day one when the game came out. I learned about it from an RPG podcast that I really like listening to called Axe of the Blood God. And I want to appreciate them as well for kind of bringing this game to my attention so I could jump in and learn it. And like I said, it's one of the most special games I've kind of ever come across, and I'm really grateful that I got to now speedrun it twice at RPG Limit Break, showing off some of the cool stuff that you can do with this game. So, and thank you as well to all of the folks here at RPG Limit Break for having us back, for all the hard work that was done to kind of get the stream back up and running tonight so that we could all enjoy this nice run. And yeah, thank you, Ferric, for being here as well and being part of this experience with me. It's been wonderful. So
yeah. Just similarly, my shout-outs would be to RPG Limit Break. Thank you so much for having us. I know everybody can't be here. It's like it's an awesome vibe being here. If you ever get a chance to come, even if it's not for the whole week, there's so many good people here. It's so much fun, like participating in these games and just meeting these just fantastic, committed, like caring people is just like super cool. The cause NAMI that is supported by all these donations, we're already over $15,000 in donations. It's like, Is it Monday? Well, no, it's actually Tuesday now. Is it Tuesday?
No,
or
it's
is it
still
Wednesday?
Monday night.
I don't even know what day it is.
Yeah.
My brain's just like muddled right now.
We haven't slept yet. It's still Monday night.
We haven't slept yet, exactly. Yeah. So, but yeah, big thanks to that. And just throw them your support. We're definitely looking forward to enjoying the rest of the marathon. Big thanks to Blaze for introducing me to this game. Doing a co-op run with your partner, super cool. Highly recommend it if you get a chance. So feel free to bother your partner to play the games that you're interested in because maybe they'll say yes.
Yeah, exactly. So, and I think that's it from us. So we'll go ahead and throw it back. Thanks everybody.
Thanks guys. Peace. Yeah.
Thank you so much to Blaze and Phoenix there for what an amazing run of Chained Echoes. I just want to give a final reminder. All of this is for the National Alliance on Mental Illness. It serves as a preeminent resource for people searching for life-changing guidance, information, and support as they navigate their mental health conditions. In fact, their website alone, which is NAMI.org, that is NAMI.org, serves over 12 million unique visitors annually. And I must say, I might sound bright and bubbly over the stream, but that is certainly not the case behind the scenes, and I am personally grateful for this alliance for existing. All right, it looks like we are ready for our sponsored ad, so let's go ahead and give that a watch. Okay, Crosscode looks like a really cool game. I can't wait to check that out. And with that, that is the end of my hosting duty. You will see me again along with Blaze doing Small Run. I believe that's on Thursday. So you've not heard the last of me. In the meantime, I'm going to throw this over to our host coming up, Red Silvers, who'll be joining us after these Twitch ads. And again, if you don't want to see these ads, feel free to subscribe, and then you can jam along to the music instead. So thank you so much, and good night.
Alrighty, we're just getting everything set up for Dragon Valor, but in the meantime, hello everyone, this is Red Silvers. I'm going to be hosting you through this run. While we're getting set up, we do have a couple of donations here to get through. We do have $10 for BD Jeffrey P. It says, we need to get shampoo. I'm all out and getting more in bait and chaos seems convenient enough, right? We also have a $30 donation from Baffin. It says, go Legrand Grand for bait and Katos. Hyped to see you represent our game. Giving money to name the spirit as myself to accompany you for the run. Thank you very much, both of you, for those donations. And of course, as always, our Petulant Break is coming to you from Salt Lake City Live, my hometown, where we're raising money for NAMI, the National Alliance on Mental Illness. NAMI was founded in 1979 as a grassroots advocacy organization by a group of parents whose children suffer with serious mental illnesses, and they've maintained that focus to this day.